Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits, coming to you from the Recycle Garage here in sunny and fun Santa Cruz, California. Hey everyone, this is Liza. Joining me in the studio tonight, it's Stumpy John.
I feel chastised and hurt right now.
You did get chastised.
You should.
You almost got chastised upside the head. I think you still might.
On the classy girl couch tonight, it's Douglas.
Did you see my new Snap-on hat?
I like it.
This was gifted to me last night.
It suits you because it's Hawaiian.
Right. It's got floral print and it's a Snap-on.
Very nice.
Nice.
Howley to you too.
And of course, that's the sultry tones of Naked Jim.
What's happening? Peace, love, and dirt bikes.
Yeah. Did you get any dirt biking in? No, you went.
You went
for a nice ride.
No,
yesterday.
I went fast bike riding up the coast yesterday. It was very fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, of course, joining us from his garage in Oregon, it's Bagel.
50 is the new 29.
What does that mean? Oh, wait. Oh! Somebody had a birthday.
Yep. Me.
That's what that means.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday, Bagel.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
Happy birthday,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Still waiting on that Baja Josh.
Yep. I've still got it in the list.
Let's see. Oh, so much to talk about.
Yep.
Oh, man. I think we're just all we had so much fun last weekend for those of us who went to the one show. And then for those of us who didn't, some people went on rides.
Yeah.
Yesterday. I need to get on I need a ride.
I wish you could have made it. It was a good one. It was a doozy.
Yeah. Yes, I know. I had dental things.
It's 2 weekends in a row. I was in Big Sur the weekend before that riding, and you couldn't make it.
Man, I know. But hey, we had a great day in the garage today, and we had a new guy, Tony,
with a cool bike,
who showed up. I love it when you get the person who walks up like, what is this place? Actually, we had the two kinds of people that walk up. The ones that walk up looking around like, yeah, I was told that you can help me, and yeah, what do you got? Yeah, I'm a new rider, a new bike, and I was told come on in, we'll help you out. What do you need? We had that today, and he was really nice, and he couldn't believe. So wait, I get to just use all the tools, and you guys are helping me, and he was really appreciative. He called me ma'am.
Well,
at one point.
He was in the service. He's one of those. We get those service kids through service men every now and then. Service people.
And then we have the other type. The type that comes walking up, and you're like,
oh, those two.
They're like, what can you do for me?
They're like looking around, like as they walk up, like, oh, what do you got in here? And they always look, I don't want to be rude, but there are people who don't look like regular riders. I'm just going to say it that way. And, and then you're like, can I help you? Yeah. You guys can help. You do, what do you do here, Well, yeah, I guess we can help you.
We don't sell crack. So you keep on heading down the road there.
Do you ride? No, I was thinking of getting a moped. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is, you don't let them see all the stuff.
Yeah, no, they were just moseying on through.
Yeah. So that was the other type. But boy, Tony.
Yeah.
He had a great time. Doug, thank you for helping him.
It was my pleasure.
Wait, was it a fender eliminator? Is that what he's doing? Or was he doing other
fender
stuff?
eliminator, and then he had some sliders that he wanted to put on too, but we decided that it wasn't enough time.
Okay.
Like a quarter of the way through the eliminator kit, I was like, you got to get crack-a-lackin' because it's 2:30 now, and we're done at 6.
Yeah.
And this always takes longer than you think it does.
Yep.
And sure enough, it sure did. And but it turned out well.
And he had that sweet bike. There was a Ninja 400.
Yeah, like
beautiful.
brand new.
I love it when a new rider
Sweet.
gets an appropriate bike for a new rider.
Yeah.
And has all the gear and all.
And he's
the
all
stuff.
kitted out too. Yeah, he's smart guy. Yeah.
I know. Well, and the other thing I love about new riders is introducing them to our world and the new things, and to races and events and movies, and
And shenanigans, we'll say.
You know what will blow his mind? Going to something like the Quail Motorcycle Gathering.
Right.
Oh, totally.
Right?
Or doing Road Rider 2.0.
Yeah. I mean, that blows,
or just go,
blows people's mind.
But you just go to Armor Racing at Laguna. I tell you, Armor Racing at Laguna is one of the coolest things, you could see, and it's right in our backyard.
Well, even Ellie and Lila had an amazing time at the one show. So, this is that time of year where like it's time to go to events.
Yeah.
And one show kicked it off. Now we got the next event.
Yeah.
We got our sights set on the Quail.
It's
How exciting that it's back.
Yes.
And how exciting that we have a guest joining us tonight. Somebody who, I'd say he knows everything about the Quail because he dreamed up the Quail, in fact. Joining us tonight is Gordon McCall. Gordon, hi there.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Gordon, welcome.
Hey.
You put on a heck of a show all over the place.
I know. Gordon, thank you so much for joining us. You are, what's your official, I just say you're the head cheese. What's your official title?
I'm one of the head cheeses. I'm referred to as the motorsports director at Quail Lodge and Golf Club, co-founder of the motorcycle show and the car show that we do in August. But I'm just one of the cogs.
Yes, but the Quail, for those who haven't been, it is a unique event. But and Gordon, tell me if I'm incorrect. I believe you can trace the lineage back to the Guggenheim Art of the Motorcycle. Is that correct?
Well, absolutely. It's in this. I mentioned the car show that we do in August. That's almost 20 years old now. This is our 19th year.
Yeah.
And for all of those 19 years, we've featured motorcycles. And this comes from kind of a selfish position. I'm kind of known in the car world as being a car guy, but like a lot of people, I was a bike guy before I was a car guy, with a Honda 90 at 14 years old that I still have, pathetically. So, motorcycles have been a part of what we do at Quail Lodge since day one. And, the opportunity came up in 2008 where there was a void, for a standalone show. And we thought, we've always included motorcycles in our car show. Why don't we have a go at a standalone? And really, the Guggenheim definitely had an influence on us and our decision. But also, my friendship with Paul Dorlin goes way, way back. And it was important for me to pull in kind of the right people, for lack of a better word, to kind of get this thing going, because it's not just a singular thing. I have to back up and say it really is all about the Peninsula Signature Events Department, the people that work in that office under Courtney Ferrante's direction. It's amazing. It's a year-round, it's a division at Quail Lodge and Golf Club, and they're the ones that do all the heavy lifting. They do all the hard work behind the scenes, and it's incredible what they produce. Yeah,
and that's something that I love about it. And having seen the Guggenheim exhibit and then the Legend of the Motorcycle, now into the Quail, and it is like a museum exhibit come to life, but there aren't ropes. Not only are there no ropes, there's usually somebody standing around who built or raced to talk about it. The other thing I love about the Quail is you can be rubbing elbows with some guy named Hank who rides a Harley or a billionaire, but it's the common thread of motorcycles that you can strike up a conversation with anyone. In fact, Jim, who's here in the room, he's very good at going around and just striking up conversations. And one of the ways he does that is just sits down at a table with people. And Jim, I do believe one year you just sat down at a table full of women and introduced yourself. And I found you hanging out talking with them. Yes. In fact, one of them.
They were fascinating. Yes. Talented artist from Monterey, California, as a matter of fact.
Named?
Yeah, she had beautiful artwork. And we had a lovely lunch there at the Quail a couple
do you remember her name?
Yeah, Molly.
Yeah, it was Molly.
Just randomly. Molly. Yeah, exactly.
That's actually one of her paintings right behind me.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I liked her stuff on Instagram, but no, it's just sheer coincidence. And we sat down and
that's funny.
Molly, who is Gordon's wife. And that's the thing.
Rides.
Yeah. And you can go up and talk to anyone. Did you have something you wanted to add, Jim?
Oh, I was going to say, just recognizing the Quail and what it kind of means for us here is we go to a lot of shows all over the place, of course. And but here it's like our Masters week. Like the Masters golf tournament, it's kind of like the springtime thing that kicks off golf for people. This is like our Masters event. It's like the big fun event that kicks off our motorcycle season.
Right. The contrast, because we go to Dirtbag.
Yeah.
And the contrast between Quail and Dirtbag is it's like one opposite end of the spectrum.
But
as far as
they are the same in that we go there for the bikes, but it's the people,
the stories,
yes,
and the stories that we end up really coming away with and enjoying.
Yeah.
And in fact, Gordon, you have some great stories. I did a little bit of research on you. In fact, I'd like to go back to the start because you're known for a car guy, but you are a motorcycle guy, and I think motorcycles got you into it. In fact, a little 90cc Honda
absolutely
has a big thing to do with it. Let's hear about this. I know it's a famous story. If you can tell the story of the Honda 90.
Hey, you know what? We all have a Honda 90 story. Yeah. It's that motorcycle is about 30 feet away from me right now. I'm in my car barn actually at home right now where I tinker on stuff on my off time, but I'm fortunate to still have that bike. Well, so again, I think we all started somewhere with mini bikes, Sears catalog, wherever our interest. Cool kid in the neighborhood that had a Taco or a Bonanza or whatever. That wasn't me. I was the kid drooling over that stuff. And I remember trading an HO scale, an Aurora slot car for a ride on a Bonanza, which just, I think I might have been 11 years old or something. And it just drove me nuts. But I also knew I couldn't talk to my mom about any of this stuff. And isn't it just so appropriate that we're talking about motorcycles on Mother's Day?
Yeah.
The very thing we had to hide the most of all the things we did. It's like Happy Mother's Day, So this Honda 90, I had a Raleigh Grand Prix bicycle at the time, 10-speed, that I bought for $100 that I paid for with lawn clipping money like we all did back then. And the motorcycle thing was just driving me crazy. And I looked at some want ads in a Monterey Herald. I was 14 years old. I saw an ad for a Honda 90, $100. And I thought, okay, I'm selling the bicycle and I'm buying a motorcycle, which is exactly what I did. So I took a transit bus, Monterey Transit, over to Western Motors, which was the local Porsche dealer, Volkswagen Porsche dealer, and talked to a guy who actually is still on the peninsula, a guy named Don Pepperdine. I need to catch up with Don because I can't imagine what it was like. Now, granted, I'm 6'5", so I've always been a little bit taller than my age. Maybe not now, but back then, certainly. What it was like to have a 14-year-old kid walk up with $100 and a brand new Buco helmet that I bought on the way at the Honda dealership. I'd never ridden a motorcycle before in my life. And then I had to buy the bike. And his first question was, you know how to ride, right? Well, of course I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
So I buy the bike, I walk around the corner, and it took me literally a couple hours to figure the whole thing out. And I took back roads back and kept it at my friend's house. And that motorcycle, quite frankly, taught me just about everything I needed to learn in life.
Yeah.
I can imagine you could write a book
really
on
did,
that.
Though, it was an unauthorized purchase. So I had to learn how to work on it. I couldn't really ask anybody for help there because I didn't technically have it. I knew that I was breaking some rules, but I was a really good kid growing up. I never wanted to let my mom down. I never wanted to get in trouble. So I had to keep it clean. Again, at my height, I just put a dark shield on my Yuko helmet and rode around and made sure I didn't stink it up or else my gig would have been over, But that dumb little Honda 90, it really did. It just set the tone for me. That bike led to many others, and I'm just grateful to have had that experience. I wish parents today would maybe be a little freer with the idea of getting their kids involved. I was involved with that Why We Ride documentary a few years ago. And, it's inspiring when you talk to people that got a chance to ride motorcycles as kids. Look at the world every American world champion, every one of them. Then several are really good friends. They all started when they were like 6 years old, It's a neat thing for a kid to learn. You learn a lot with a motorcycle. Just do.
I love how you talk about how much that shaped, kind of started you on the path you were on. You having to be a responsible rider and be responsible for the bike. But there's also, speaking of mom, there's something of your mom's that also kind of set you on a path. That would be your mom's tea set.
Oh yeah. you know about that?
You want to talk about that and how that still comes to play?
So my mom passed away in 2012, and she was really a great mom. We had a very formal relationship. She was very much, even though I've been in California my entire life, she was an East Coast gal and kind of very buttoned down and reserved and all those kind of traditional things, but a wonderful mom. She had this incredible silver tea set that was in a room that was, of course, off limits and all the rest of that. But it was on my chore list of things that I had to polish. And from as far back as I can remember, that was one of my major responsibilities, was keeping that tea set. Now it's in my office at my real office. I look at it every day because that is the very thing that gave me that kind of interest in making things look better. Right. Which got me into the automotive world, which led to a career as a Ferrari mechanic in a restoration shop and all these other, kind of crazy things. It all started with that tea set. It really did. And I cherish it. I do. We all start somewhere, right? And so Honda 90 and a tea set, who would guess?
Well, and since it's Mother's Day, I want to keep going on Cool Mom Award. Because your mom would drop you off at Laguna Seca as a kid. How cool is that?
That's cool.
How does that work?
Hey, what mom didn't do that? Right? Yeah, that was back when you could do that with your kids.
Back in the good old days, right?
Just drop them off on the highway.
Yeah,
be back before it gets dark.
Supper time, right? That was
watch out for coyotes.
Watch out for coyotes. Laguna Seca at that time, and it is funny because I'm very involved with that track and I'm on the board out there and all the rest of it. But it's kind of surreal because I did literally grow up out there as well, and it was a military base. It was an annex for Fort Ord, the 7th Infantry, and there was unexploded ordnance in the hills. And when a Trans Am race would roll around town, and I'm talking literally late 60s, Can-Am, Trans Am, all those wonderful series, they'd get 50,000 people would show up for a race there. There was no running water. It's not called the dry bed for nothing. Laguna Seca is directly defined as the dry lake. And so I just look at those days and I think, man, I didn't know it at the time, but that was the heyday of American racing. It really was. And to be there as a kid, watching the high-winged McLarens and Chaparrals, and then later getting to know these guys, Jim Hall from Chaparral and Roger Penske and all those guys were legendary myths as a kid. They're just people, they're just people. So that was fun though. And that's a trusting mom but that's also, if I can interrupt myself here. That was also the sign of a kid who didn't want to let their folks down. I didn't want to get in trouble. I wanted to be able to do it again.
I love it. Well, she gets a Cool Mom Award.
Yeah.
And so you seem to be destined on this path. How much do you think you would have found this same path if you weren't raised in the Carmel, Monterey area?
That's a good question. I know your environment has a lot to do with. Yeah, it really does. I feel very fortunate to have not only grown up here, but to be able to stay here. The Monterey Peninsula and Northern California in general, as I think we would all agree, is really special. I've always known it. I've never taken it for granted. And perhaps this path wouldn't have been the same if I was elsewhere in the country.
Well, not everyone has a Ferrari dealership to get a job at when they're young.
That's true.
Well, but you can't, the influence of Laguna Seca, and I know, at least a little bit the relationship with Wayne Rainey, and I don't know if you're still storing his bike for him or not. And we've met Wayne down at the museum.
Yeah,
at
the Talbot.
Yeah, and talked to him.
He's my best friend. I just was with him this morning. So
no kidding, what a cool guy, right? You can't say enough cool things about him.
Have you heard his latest?
That he's going to be riding that one.
Yeah.
Yes,
so that started 3 years ago. I went to the Isle of Man with a couple of really good friends, and if you're into music, a really cool music guy by the name of Nick Mason from Pink Floyd. Really, cool motorcycle guy. But we started talking. I happened to meet the guy that's responsible for the motorcycle activities at Goodwood, and the Goodwood Festival of Speed and the Revival are viewed as clearly the two top vintage events in the world. Just the property at Goodwood alone, the Duke of Richmond's place is pretty incredible. He has a sit down dinner for $1,100 in the house. So.
And Goodwood, this is basically a race in a driveway.
Yeah, it's also where, the Spitfires staged for the Battle of Britain and the Rolls Royce factory.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
How cool.
crazy.
Yeah. So the hill climb there, though, is legendary, and it's what most spectators go to witness because it's just a thrill to see, your heroes and all the cars through the generations blast up the hill. Well, David Dew is responsible for the motorcycles that are there, and we just got talking, and he'd learned that Wayne was a good friend, et cetera. And so we started talking, and at that time, 3 years ago, I knew what Wayne's interest was in terms of getting back on a bike. His accident in '93 has obviously kept him off a motorcycle, aside from about 2 years ago when he got back on an R6, which was specially outfitted. He did some testing at Button Willow. He went to Suzuka and rode. But in my mind, it was fantastic that he did that, and he was fulfilling a bit of a dream. But it wasn't one of his 500s. And he's had a recurring dream that he's ridden one of his GP bikes since his accident. And there was only one way to scratch that itch, and that was to figure out how to get him back on that bike. And with the help of Yamaha and quite a team effort, it's actually very heartwarming. It turns out the guys that work at Paget's Yamaha in the UK, which is the Yamaha factory race team in the UK, the guys that work on that team are all of his former teammates.
Oh,
that's cool.
And so the bike is being prepped in Japan right now, his 92 World Championship bike. He has his other two bikes. He keeps them here on the peninsula, his other two World Championship bikes. But his 92 bike is there being outfitted right now. They're going to ship it to Paget's. Paget's will prep it. And then the support team for him to go up the hill climb at Goodwood in front of 50,000 people 3 days in a row are his former teammates. And so, Wayne is one of those guys, and he's always said this. It's actually kind of heartwarming. His view is you're only handicapped if you want to be.
Yeah.
And he's so inspiring in so many different ways, way beyond the motorcycle arena. And the idea of him getting back on a 500cc Grand Prix bike that he won a world championship on and riding it, I think for the rest of us in the world that maybe think that we've got an obstacle or two in front of us, to see that and witness that, that's pretty inspiring. And motorcycles do that, don't they?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that is going to be so big. And I know when we interviewed him, his bike was up at Moto Talbot. I think it's been removed because of threat of fire.
Yeah, we pulled both bikes out of there, and Kenny's bikes too.
Too many fire scares. But fortunately,
they're not something that can be replaced.
I know.
They just aren't.
But fortunately, there's a lot of other great bikes there. But it was great to interview him there and have the bike there and really ask him a lot of questions. But now you're very familiar with it. In fact, you have other race bikes. You have a little collection yourself.
I love bikes.
So what's in the garage today?
Yeah, well, I was working on. I've got a really fun TZ750 Yamaha that I'm prepping. I'm going to ride that at Laguna actually in July. It's there was an 11-year period of time. If you weren't on a TZ750 Yamaha, you weren't going to win the Daytona 200.
That's true.
Just a dominant bike of its era. And when you talk to the folks that rode them, the very few amount of folks that actually rode those things and won, I mean, they're just vicious. They're kind of the 427 Cobra of motorcycles. They weren't the friendliest thing in the world.
Oh, beasts.
They're a beast. Yeah, I love race bikes. I've got Reg Pridmore's old F750 BMW, the bike that he rode for Butler and Smith right before the R90S that he won the first Superbike championship on.
In fact, how do you feel about that bike? Its aesthetics.
It's got to be the ugliest race bike.
There it is.
Hands down. But if you talk to Udo Giedel, and Udo is an amazing guy, and he's still around. So Udo was actually Wayne's crew chief when Wayne rode for Honda. When he was the Superbike champion riding the VFR Interceptor, Udo was the Honda crew chief. Udo built the bikes for Butler and Smith at that time and had a long conversation with him about that bike, and is aesthetically displeasing as that motorcycle is. I mean, the gas tank looks like a coffin and just reminds you of dying on a motorcycle every time you throw a leg over it. The bike was amazingly, it was a trailblazing bike for BMW. No one thought The
Yeah.
BMWs were road racers in this country at that time. This was 1972.
Well, it doesn't help to look. I saw the video, I think, of your garage there, the Peterson virtual tour, and you've got it next to some of the most beautiful Norton, some Commandos that are just gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Rickman
well, and
framed.
it's got an XR 750 Harley fairing on it, and it's just an abomination. But Udo shortened up the cylinders. He took 2 fins off of each side to get the lean angle, and he changed the stroke and got the lean angle, increased the lean angle because Reg was having problems. It's scraping the cylinder head on the darn thing. It's not the best handling bike in the world, but as ugly as that bike is, in Reg's words, without that motorcycle, the R90S would have never happened. So it's kind of like the Ironhead XR 750s. Same thing, horrible, hideous motorcycle to ride. But if it wasn't for those iron heads, the alloys would have never have come along.
So let's talk about what else you have in your garage. As Jim said, you got some Norton's Rickman.
Yeah, I'm a Norton fan, have been my whole life. Just there's something about, when I was going to Carmel High School, there was a janitor there that had a 750 Commando. And I just remember after football practice, everyone's in there showering up, school's out, there's no one really left in the school. It's just a few of us in the locker room. And this guy, Kenny, would fire his Commando up. And that thing just mesmerized me. Here at the time, I had a Honda CL90. So anything bigger than a CL90 was fascinating. But that bike would pirouette on the center stand as it was warming up. I just thought that was the coolest thing in the world. So cool. I think that kind of lit the Commando fuse for me. But I ended up landing, I discovered Buddy Perriot's Manx, his 1960 Manx.
Yeah.
Buddy was the first American to score Grand Prix points. He did it on that bike at the Daytona Grand Prix way back when. Manx is, I'm a sucker for race bikes. I just am. And I think it's got a lot to do with the fact they're really fun just to look at too, as much fun as they are to ride. They're just fun to look at. So I rotate. Like everybody, none of us have enough motorcycles, right?
No, but not all of us have such a nice garage.
Well, that was, that garage was a project, is about the only good thing that happened to me. And to actually, I sympathize with all of us for 2020.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, right? God, what a dreadful year. But I got involved with this. We put a little partnership together and we built a motorsport park in Monterey, near the Monterey airport. And it turns out it was a really good thing to do. We sold out quickly. The pandemic actually helped us because people flocked our way to be able to have an away from home office and a place to keep their bikes and cars. And Monterey Peninsula doesn't have enough space. You can buy a beautiful home. You're lucky to get a 2-car garage. So what do you do with your stuff?
And these are it's the Garage Unlimited, right?
No, it's actually, we started with Garage Unlimited. This is a really different animal.
Okay.
It's aesthetically a little more pleasing. We're literally right on Highway 60. We're right next to the airport, near the track. I have to admit it turned out really well.
Because we have one of the Garage Unlimited up here in Santa Cruz, and I've been to open houses there, and you get like some, cool rat rod in one garage, and then you get a couple GSs and a pinball machine over in this one, and then you get, a boat in this one. And then there's a guy who has a jacked up off-road Mazda Miata in one.
Perfect.
And another guy with like radio control stuff. And it's fascinating, all the different people who go in there, because this solves that problem.
It just does.
Needing space.
You're so right. And our, same story is happening at our motorsport park. I've got the CEO of Ford is my next door neighbor, a good friend, but he's running Ford Motor Company from next door. Wayne's behind me. Guy that did Shawshank Redemption and the Green Mile. He's a Porsche guy. He's on the other side. And what's really cool, everybody we all leave each other alone. But at the same time, every once in a while, doors will come up and we'll have little get-togethers. It's just, it's that shared interest. Camaraderie is pretty powerful when it comes to two and four wheels.
One of the things I find very endearing about you is you seem very sentimental. You like to hold on to things. Not only do you have that first Honda, I believe you have that 10-speed bike too.
It's hanging on the wall.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
But
I sold it and tracked it back down.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
First 10-speed back, right?
But
Wow.
if you can see on video, you can see we have something in common. I have quite a collection of toys myself. In fact,
I've noticed.
You can see they go around the room.
I've noticed.
Yes,
I love it.
I think I might have more toys than you.
Are those? I'm having a hard time.
Yeah.
I'm on my laptop. So are those 1/43rd scale? Or are they?
They're
like,
all of them. It's all the things.
That's terrific.
It is
I love
all
it.
the things. But we have something else in common.
What's that?
Yeah, and you guys in this room may not realize that there is a car that's on my list. It's my next fun car. I've had a lot of fun, interesting cars.
Citroen?
Yeah.
No, I've had a Citroen.
Oh.
The one that's been gnawing at me is either a 240 or a 260Z. It's the one I want so bad.
Yeah.
This guy's got a 240 that's beautiful.
Don't do the 260.
You have the 240? Oh.
What's wrong with the 260?
260 got heavy, got big bumpers.
Yeah.
It's post 74 and things started getting weird in the car world.
It's still before the smog thing. So
Right.
Yeah, they had EGR valves and find a 240.
My mom had a 240. And she would tell me stories about that car
I think
when I was a little kid. Yeah.
So it's so beautiful. Like every time I see one, I'm like, oh, I want that. I want the louvered rear windows. I want the gold mag wheels.
The full-on Inspector
I
Gadget.
want all of that. I just,
they're fewer than farther between nowadays.
I know. But you still see some sitting in a field. Doug, when you lived up on Branciforte, there was somebody who had one sitting in a field. In their yard.
Yeah. Once in a while you see them around here, but not often.
I dream.
I wanted a 240 really badly when I turned 16. I had a friend whose mom had one. I mean, she went from a Sunbeam. Talk about cool moms. She went from a Sunbeam Tiger to a 240Z. It was pretty cool in the 70s. She was the cool mom. That's where I hid my Honda 90 in their garage.
That's the cool mom for sure.
They didn't care. I thought this is really cool. So, but I was heavily influenced. The whole Datsun thing in the 70s was intriguing to me. As a kid, I used to volunteer out at Laguna Seca to pump gas at the 76 station, which was where they did tech inspection. Also, the pumps are still there. The building's gone. It's right in the center of the paddock. Mm-hmm. And during the 2.5 Trans Am Challenge, that race series had a major influence on me. I was fascinated. As much as I loved the Camaros and the Javelins and the Camaros and the big bore Trans Am cars, those were not in my cards. I mean, that was not a car that a 15-year-old kid can start thinking about, at least in my world. So, whereas Datsuns, though, I thought, wait a minute, what are the Datsun, right? And Pete Brock was dominating the series with his BRE 510s. With John Morton behind the wheel, he was beating Alphas and BMWs with a Datsun. I thought, okay, this is the coolest thing ever. I need to buy a Datsun. So I saved up for a 510. And literally the day I turned 16, I went over to the DMV in Seaside, got my driver's license, and bought a 510 on the same day.
That's awesome.
I ended up turning that car into something pretty special because I traded it for a 911S Porsche, which is kind of fun.
Not bad from a 10 speed a couple of trades prior.
Yeah.
Well done.
I'm still proud to this day because when I was 10 years old, I was sitting around with a bunch of other kids and we were talking about what car are you going to get when you can drive? And I said, I don't want just one car. I want a Porsche, a Jeep, and a Datsun B210.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, Datsun B210, it's a very practical car.
They are, yeah.
I know. I always loved it. Well, and Gordon, you went on, I mean, you've been on this path. You went on through different careers, working for Christie, stuff like that. But basically, cars and motorcycles have always been such a big part of your life. You were even a judge at Pebble Beach, right? So
I was with Pebble for 28 years. Wow. Yeah, I started there, and when I was going to Carmel High School, I volunteered as a field crew guy and ended up as a judge there before I started the Quail.
The good thing is that qualifies you for a game I came up with just for you. Gordon, welcome to Game Time.
I'm horrible at games.
Oh, no. Here's the thing. There is no wrong answer. Okay, so
this is a first,
and you're definitely better than we are.
This is definitely a first on
all right, so let me bring this up. All right, hold on. I got to do the thing. I'm going to do this. All right. Okay, here we go. This game is called car or motorcycle. It's that simple. Oh wait, now hold on. This is going all wrong. Let me do this. Hold on. This is going all wrong. I got the wrong screen. So what we're going to do is called car or motorcycle. And I've got a list of cars and motorcycles that all I need you to do is tell me, is it a car or is it a motorcycle? You think you can, you're qualified to do that?
I can take wild guesses.
Okay.
So how does the game work? Is it?
Like I said, there is no wrong answer. All right, first up. Gordon, can you see what's on the screen?
I can.
All right, first up, we have, and Bagel and I were just arguing about this. This is a Bajaj RE Optima rickshaw, 198cc, 3 wheels with a single wheel in the front. It's a 4-speed reverse, and it has handlebars. Gordon, is this a car or a motorcycle?
Well, so do you want the technical answer or do you want the from the gut answer? Because I do happen to know that anything with 3 wheels is considered a motor-driven cycle. If it's over 150 cc's, it's a motorcycle.
Which state?
California. I'm just talking California.
Okay.
So if it's got 4 wheels like the Isetta, with the 2 wheels tucked behind the 2 wheels.
Oh, you're cheating. Don't jump ahead.
But-
Don't jump ahead.
I won't, but I'll say this is a motorcycle for that
This
reason.
is a motorcycle. Oh, Bagel, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But can it wheelie?
Okay.
All right. Next up is, there we go, is the Polaris Slingshot. 1997 cc's, 3 wheels, single wheel in the rear. This has a steering wheel and a helmet is required.
In California.
Income.
Is this a car or a motorcycle?
I would refer to it as a motorcycle.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
interesting.
Is that your gut or a technical?
No, it's the 3-wheeled thing.
Okay, it's the same
like
thing, same definition.
3-wheeled Morgan, same.
All
yeah.
right. So what does your gut say though?
He says,
To me, it's more of a car than it is a motorcycle. When I see them on group rides with GSs or,
Yeah.
I kind of think, yeah, no, you're kind of a little bit of the turd in the punch bowl here. So, I think it's car. But I think technically, I think that's on the technical side.
Yeah.
It's a motorcycle.
Yeah, but
Okay.
they certainly do have their seat at the table though.
okay.
They do. Well,
yeah, they
here's the
definitely
deal.
do.
Can I back up just for 2 seconds?
Yeah.
I think in a lot of cases, and I'm 100% understanding and sympathetic of this, a lot of the 3-wheeled conversions you see, whether it be 2 in the back, 1 in the whatever, right, are enabling people to ride
Right.
that wouldn't normally do it
Yeah,
Sure.
we were just
Yeah.
talking about that literally
Yeah.
a
For
couple
various
hours ago. Yeah,
for
yeah.
various reasons.
Totally.
And for that reason, I think, hey, if it's getting out there and it's throwing a helmet on, go for it. You're part of the
Yeah.
family.
There's that movie Silver Bullet from the 80s.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next
Yep.
one up is the BMW Isetta, which is like 247 to 298 cc's, so pretty small. 3 wheels, single wheel in the rear, and a very interesting steering wheel attached to the door, which is the front of the vehicle. Is this a car or a motorcycle?
So I have a wonderful photograph of an Isetta in my real office.
Yeah.
It's a photograph of my mom
Oh,
in that same position with my brother and my sister on her lap, and it's an ad for BMW.
get out! That is
But they
awesome.
were, this
No
was
way.
a year before I was born. The reason for that ad is they were trying to portray the Isetta as a family car.
Oh, that's rad. That is awesome.
For a very
That's
small
a heck of a
family.
marketing stretch right there, but that's a car. It's got 4 wheels.
Okay. Oh, wait.
Well-
no, I thought it had 3 wheels.
It's got
Okay,
4.
let me interject. There are Isettas that were made with 3 wheels.
This is a 3-wheel in the picture.
and there were Isettas made with 4 wheels too.
Ah.
They went to 4 wheels later on,
Okay.
partially for stability, and I think partially for tax and licensing reasons too.
So I
but-
can't
but,
tell
yeah,
from this photo.
Yeah,
but
that
if-
photo is a 3-wheel, single wheel in the rear
Okay, then
Yeah.
I call it a motorcycle.
with a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
And also another side note, Heinkel that made that scooter
Yeah.
back there, they made a very similar bubble car to the Isetta, and BMW actually sued them
Oh,
Oh.
because their prototype had a hinging steering column just like BMW's did, but BMW had a patent for that. So they sued Heinkel, and Heinkel lost. So Heinkel had to have a fixed steering column that was bolted to the floor, and the side wall did not open with the door. And you had to get in and around it to get into the driver's position.
Gotta love it when
Interesting.
lawyers get involved.
Yeah.
interesting. All right.
Vicious.
Well, coming up next, now we're getting a little more tricky. Have you ever heard of this? The Brinks Dynamic Carver. This is a 659cc turbo engine, 3-wheel, single wheel in the front with a leaning suspension. It's a 5-speed with reverse and a steering wheel. And this is interesting because it leans into the turns and it's a single seat cockpit. So, Gordon, is that a car or a motorcycle?
So that is the answer to the question that no one has asked.
It's a Carter cycle.
A Carter cycle.
Yeah, again, I'm going to say it's a motorcycle, but I'm getting car sick just looking at it.
It looks like it's a transformer that's just about to transform.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It does look fun. All right, next up, the Piaggio, or sometimes Vespa Ape, 125 to 150cc, 3-wheel, single wheel in the front. They've got tiny little wheels and handlebars. Is this a car or a motorcycle?
So, again, I think it's a motorcycle. I think these are all motorcycles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It is a hard call, especially when you have windshield wipers. You know?
And wood paneling.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next up, the Morgan. Have you ever driven one of these? You probably
I have. Yeah, a good friend of mine, Dennis Glavis, is the importer of these down in Santa Monica. He's got a great dealership down there.
So, if you guys didn't know, they're bringing the Morgan back. This one uses a 1983cc Harley V-twin with a Mazda 5-speed manual transmission. It's got 3 wheels with a single wheel in the rear and a steering wheel. And because it has basically the crash bars behind the driver, it does not require a helmet.
But the drive axle is in the front.
Yeah.
Yes.
The steering?
The drive
a lot
axle.
of folks slip an S&S motor in these things too. So they're
Must be a one-wheel drive in the front, right?
frightening.
Oh, is it? Which way is it going?
So,
No,
no,
it's
I
going that
assume
way.
it's powered in the rear.
Horizontal, yeah.
No, it's
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
Yep.
I think he just really likes motorcycles and is going to call everything a motorcycle.
Yeah.
so yeah. The drive axle is in the front. It's going that way.
See, this is the thing. Because he has so much knowledge, especially in judging, you need to know what qualifies as a car and what qualifies as a motorcycle. That's why I said, this is the guy to tell us. All right, we're almost done. Next up,
That's a trick question.
the Mono Racer 130E. This is the updated version that has an electric motor.
Oh,
It's an inline 2-wheeler with 2 inline seats, but fully encapsulated, and it has handlebars. Is this a car or a motorcycle?
That's got 2 wheels. I have to say that's a motorcycle.
What's that sit-down motorcycle that the tall guy built?
Oh, the gurney?
It looks like a gurney meets a Vetter.
Well, you know what? So this is electric. You know who else is building an electric inline bike right now?
Lightning?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Lightning's up. Lightning's
I
up
may
to
or
some
may not
things.
have seen the early version of it.
Well, I think they're going to try to break Corbin's old speed record, electric bike speed
Yeah,
record.
well,
I
we'll
think
see.
maybe.
All right, we got one more for you. All right, this, and we just saw this last weekend, right, John? Mm-hmm. This is the Arcimoto. It's a electric 20 kilowatt dual electric hub motors in both front wheels. It's 3 wheels with a single wheel in the rear and handlebars. Is this a car or a motorcycle?
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle. And in fact, this version we're looking at doesn't have the doors, but they now have a version with doors, and these are freeway legal. In
I think
fact,
every one of these, it just requires an M1 license.
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, if you're going to the Quail,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get to see it, and I think ride it, yeah? If people want to do test rides?
I'm pretty sure they've got that arranged.
Yes. That's why I put this one last. See, we're bringing it all
Cool.
back around. So this is the Arcimoto. We've met these guys at the one a couple of years ago, and John and I were talking to them. Jim, you didn't know, this is kind of fascinating. They found a really good purpose for the Arcimotos in the film industry. Mm-hmm. And they basically have turned the rear seat backwards and have a camera mount on the back, and they're using it as camera cars, kind of like the VMAX that we saw at the Peterson Museum.
Peterson Museum, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
That was cool.
That was crazy.
Well, it's funny. It reminds me of, we mentioned Corbin. He's got the Sparrow. So I guess the Sparrow would also be a motorcycle.
Oh, yeah. Is a Sparrow, is that a motorcycle or a car?
Sparrow is
because he sold it
It's
at the
three
auto
wheels.
show.
Yeah, it's 3 wheels. It's enclosed. Looks like a golf ball.
Looks like Shaquille O'Neal's shoe.
It's like a toenail, maybe.
It's a
That's
motorcycle,
funny.
bro.
So have you had a chance to try the Arcimoto yet?
No, I haven't.
They're pretty cool. They haven't added. I don't think they've added the power steering yet, so it's a little rough if you have to do like a 5-point turn to turn around. But they are fun.
And the range is obviously going to always be the question on these electric bikes, and that's something they're working on daily, I know, to try and improve.
So I wanted to talk a bit more about the Quail. So I've been attending since year one.
But wait.
Oh, you want to know what the prize is? No.
No. Wait. Are those all motorcycles?
So,
yeah.
Sure.
I mean, we were depending on you to make the call.
So go to the California Vehicle Code book.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's crystal clear that if it's got 3 wheels, it's considered a motorcycle regardless of the CCs. That determines whether or not you can ride on the freeway or not.
And they call it a motor-driven cycle?
But
If it's under 150
being
cc.
allowed to
Oh, I
ride on
see.
the freeway,
But 3-wheelers are considered motorcycles.
but it can't be a motorcycle if it doesn't go on the freeway?
No, well, so if it's over 150 cc's,
Oh, okay.
it just requires a real
An M1.
motorcycle and
yeah.
M1 classification.
But the slingshot doesn't require M1, I don't think.
As far as I know, it doesn't.
Yeah.
But you're still required to wear a helmet.
Yeah. That's what I'm
Actually,
saying.
That may have changed in the last few years because I remember Arnold Schwarzenegger got dinged because he was riding a Ural with a sidecar and got in an accident, and he didn't have a motorcycle endorsement.
Oh,
But then I think a law got changed that if you have a 3-wheeled motorcycle that doesn't lean or something like that, you could drive that with a car license. But I could be mistaken, but I seem to recall that may have gotten changed a few years ago.
Isn't there a 2 front wheeled scooter?
Can-Am? Well, not scooter.
No, it's a scooter that
Oh, yeah.
that's
Piaggio
over
MP3.
150 that you don't need an M1 to ride in
No.
California?
No.
No? What? I remember us talking about this in the past.
No, I don't think so. But let's get back to the Quail.
a quick Google search.
Yeah, I
says,
know. No.
Yeah, so what did he want a sticker?
You know what?
What does he get? A sticker?
Yeah. Gordon, you are a good enough judge for us. That's why I'm
Yeah,
like, we
we
got
just
the guy.
learned. We just learned
We
something.
love to debate these things. I'm like, well, this guy'll know.
So I'm going to back this up with Mr. and Mrs. Google,
Yeah.
Totally.
which says what counts as a motorcycle in California. If it's got 2 or 3 wheels, it'll be a motorcycle.
Ah.
What's the was it the Robin Reliant? Is that the really horrible
yeah.
3-wheeler?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
And the worst
That's a
car.
motorcycle.
I just remember watching Top Gear and Jeremy Clarkson kept driving it and just turning and sliding on the side and going, sorry to the
Yeah.
people.
Never mind.
Never mind. I'm all right.
Yeah.
So let's get back to the
Not
Quail.
dead yet.
What year is this for the Quail? This is like
Well, so this is tricky. It's fuzzy math because we haven't had
Yeah.
the Quail for 3 years.
yeah.
We started in 2008, so technically I think
Yeah.
it's year 14 or 15, but we're calling it the 12th annual because we missed out on 2. I cannot tell you, the pent-up interest is breathtaking. It really is, and it's refreshing as well. We all want to get back together again, and to your point earlier, and I loved it. There were some out there that thought we were a little crazy when we came up with this format of really just throwing everything together. Grand Prix people, custom builders, scooters, mini bikes,
Yeah, everything.
choppers, sport. I mean, the gamut, right?
At one time you had a bus.
Yeah, that's right. The crazy polished with the deco.
Yes.
Yeah, Randy Grubb
Yeah.
from Oregon. That guy, have you ever seen his hands?
No.
So his hands, anybody that works like Evan Wilcox, when
Yeah.
you're an aluminum fabricator, oh my God, your hands just don't disguise the fact that that's your gift.
They've been
because-
through the English wheel more than once.
Oh my God, they never complain. Yeah. So, but it was really, we were kind of looked at as you know, the Half Moon Bay show was remarkable. There's no doubt about it. Short-lived, but remarkable. Jared and Brooke put on an amazing event up there. It was very highbrow, which had a little bit to do with its demise. And something as a motorcyclist I've always been aware of is the inclusivity angle in the motorcycle world. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care what someone's into. If it's motorcycles, there it is. That's the DNA that we all have so much fun sharing with each other. I've also believed strongly that motorcycling in general is something that's not enjoyed in a vacuum. It just isn't. As much as it can be therapeutic and you dive into your garage, you tinker on your stuff and all the rest of it, that, you kind of use that as a Zen time to sort your thoughts. That's valuable time, but quite frankly, the fun time is when your friends come over or when you go visit somebody that's working on something and you get to share all of the trials and tribulations of it all. And I think that's representative of the motorcycle world. And so it took people a little while to figure out, because the setting at Quail Lodge is very, it's gorgeous there. It's a beautiful resort, right? And we're kind of told as motorcyclists, we're used to being told, no, you can't park there. Right. Get that thing out of here, right? That's not the way it is at Quail Lodge. They are the most inviting, friendly, grateful people to be able to host an event like this. They love it. They're in the hospitality business. Yeah. And I think it took people a little while to figure out, wow, there really isn't another shoe to drop here. This is genuine. This is, oh my God, these are real, we're all in this together, and it's such a cliche, but it's so true. If it's an interest in motorcycles, welcome. You
notice it because when you pull in, and we always ride down to it, we were just talking about it today, and when you have all the motorcycles lining the street there as you come to the event,
that's
really
the other
cool.
show.
That's the other show.
My favorite part.
And the other, well, it's like you can have just as much fun, talking to Mert Lawwell on the inside, or you can come out and talk to some dude about his vintage Ducati on the outside. It's very accessible.
And isn't that the motorcycle world, though? I mean, that's what I love about it. It's absolutely representative of that. And I think, quite frankly, no one does it better than Quail Lodge. And to be able to throw all these ideas together, personally, I'm just heartwarmed by the friendships that have come out of that show. Mm-hmm. Quite frankly, Wayne's series, Moto America, which is, they've single-handedly revived superbike racing in this country. It was in the tank when Wayne took it over from the AMA. They just, it was not going anywhere. Yeah. I mean, there was no television coverage. There were very few races. And for a guy like Wayne Rainey, it's not enough for him to be a former 3-time world champion. He wants to be a guy who helps find the next American world champion. And by the way, Joe Roberts.
Oh, we have one?
Moto 3 overseas. Yes. And, he's a product of Moto America. And so it's actually happening. That whole thing came out of the Quail show. It was introducing Wayne to a guy named Richard Varner, another friend of mine, Terry Cargis, who's the executive director down at the Peterson. We all kind of got together. We started the conversation at the Quail. It ended up in my office. We ended up with Richard Pollock. At that time, I kept my TZ750 in my office, and we thought, why isn't there a modern version of this bike today? So Richard Pollock took on the project of building a modern version of a TZ750, which is a bike that showed up on the cover of Cycle World a few years ago. Yeah. That motorcycle bike build is what Moto America became, which is just cool.
Wow.
Oh, that is cool.
From a little motorcycle show.
That kind of came full circle for you. I know.
And these are just examples of things that I'm personally aware of. I just know there's a lot of friendships that have been forged. There's, old acquaintances that are remade. It's just very authentic.
Really we met Mert there, and now it's like seeing an old friend and go up to say hi to Mert every time.
There you go.
You get so many of the different vendors there, but also things like we've met artists there. Oh, yeah. I think it was a couple of years ago, you had more than one electric motorcycle. You had the
Energica.
Curtis.
Yeah,
it was
called I remember that. Then
the
Harley,
Livewire.
Harley was doing their demos.
So
then they honored Vetter that one year. And they honored Craig.
and me
and you.
You may not be aware of this, but I'm a recipient of an award from the AMA, and they asked me where I would like to receive it, and I said at the Quail.
There you go.
And Rob Dingman presented the award to me, and with Craig Vetter standing next to me, and I was so honored.
You know, you share the stage with the year that Craig Vetter couldn't travel, and he received the Dudley Perkins Award from Rob Dingman and the AMA, considered by many. You know, when you talk to Mert, that was his idol. You know, quite frankly, Dud was, and that award was presented on that stage as well. So you're in good company.
Oh, yeah. It was a proud moment for me. So let's talk about what to expect this year. What's new? What's different? What's the same? What should we be excited about?
Good food. I'm sure there'll be good food.
Yeah.
You guys kill it on the food.
I was bragging about, and you get to eat with real silverware.
Well, yeah. So, you know, we mix it up every year.
Yep.
We've got, 11 standard classes. So there's going to be about 350 motorcycles, which is about the same amount that we've had there before. It was one year, I think it was 2018. I had 400 motorcycles there, and it was too many bikes, quite frankly, because some of the feedback we got was there wasn't enough time in the day to look at them all.
Was that when they were doing the CB 750s? Was that?
Oh, yeah. We had a slew of those, didn't we? Yeah. So we've got our 11 standard classes. The featured bikes I rolled it over actually because I feel it was a significant anniversary, the 50th anniversary of the Harley Davidson XR 750. You know, much like the TZ 750 Yamaha, the 750 XR Harley is such a dominant race bike. You know, people are still racing them today.
The sound they make.
Maybe we'll see Mert rip around the place.
We've got a bunch of those coming. I also felt there's also an anniversary of the Slash 5 BMW, which arguably is one of the most customized. You know, there's so many versions, and I just love that about the motorcycle world. There's no rules. You just do whatever you want, right? And Slash 5s have been modified from day one, and so that's an anniversary. Going back to the mini bike interest, the fact that most of us started, or at least lit the fuse with a mini bike somewhere along the line.
We still have them.
Exactly. We'll have a whole bunch of mini bikes. I really get a kick out of this class. You know, there's a word in the motorcycle world. When you say it, you can smell what was just described. When you hear the word brap, you know exactly what that means.
In fact, I have a candle, a 2-stroke candle. Yeah.
So we're having a whole BRAP category of 2-strokes.
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
So, you know, when you look at the impact of the 2-stroke motorcycle, it's like everywhere from 500cc Grand Prix bikes down to small displacement dirt bikes, you name it. The 2-stroke is a phenomenal part of motorcycle history. So that's another one of our features. Something really exciting, and I'm changing his name because we had to roll him over. And thankfully, he agreed for 3 years now. He's agreed to be our legend of the sport. You know, we always like to honor.
Yeah.
In the motorcycle world, we've hit all the bases with Kenny Roberts, Eddie Lawson, Wayne Rainey, Mert Lawwell, Gene Romero, Craig Vetter, I can go down the list. Arlen Ness really was a game changer for us the year that we honored Arlen, and I'm really glad we did it when we did. For obvious reasons. And we had his son, Corey, and grandson, Zach, with us as well. And Wayne Carini showed up. We had a wonderful little chat on our stage. But the whole bringing in a custom builder that's so well known was a really neat thing to do for the show, because it just was an example that we're about everything, you know. And so the custom area is such a popular segment. This year, Roland Sands is our honoree, and I'm nicknaming him Rolling Sands now because we've rolled him over 3 times. But,
oh, wow.
So not only will Roland be there, but he's coming with his family. And, you know, there's a bike, I'm sure you're aware. So his father, Perry Sands, started Performance Machine, so the motorcycle that's the reason why Performance Machine was started was a 46 Indian that Perry and Roland worked on together.
Oh.
Called the Peyote Puffer. It's a chopper. Right? So that bike's coming.
That's cool.
And Perry's coming, and Roland's sister's coming. She runs Roland Sands Designs. So to have Roland there, you know, ex-AMA 250 Grand Prix champ, but custom builder. The bagger thing is insane right now with what Moto America is doing with the bagger racing.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And the super hooligan stuff.
Fun. Yeah. All that to me is going to be excitement level of its own. That's going to be cool.
Yeah, we saw that at Laguna. Was it, I guess last year was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild to watch.
Spherical.
Just fun.
They take 300 pounds out of those bikes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Yeah.
It's impressive. So, again, great companies got behind this event. Geico is back on board. Keanu Reeves is bringing the Arch Motorcycle Company again.
Cool, yeah.
We've just the partnerships we've forged over the years with Bonhams and Medallia actually has jumped on. I don't know if you've noticed, but you'll see Medallia stickers on the McLaren Formula One cars. Medallia happens to be a data business owned by a good friend who has a space with us at the motorsport park, and he's very much into supporting motorsports at all levels. And so he jumped on board, and we just have some good companies behind us. And again, that Peninsula Signature Events Department at Quail Lodge is, in my view, these are the rock stars. The people in that office under Courtney's guidance just do a remarkable job. It's a year-round job. So,
and I know you've had them. I know you've had them in the past. Will we see any scooters there? Because we have Bagel, our scooterist.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I like that you're inclusive of that as well.
Hey, it's all part of it. All part of the family, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All the things. It's all the things we love. And that's the thing. It is all inclusive. It's all the people, all the levels of it, but they're all beautiful and amazing in their own ways. And that's, again, what I love. We go there all day just to hang out and meet people like Jim, who sits down and meets people like Molly.
Yeah, there you go. Molly will be there.
We had a lovely lunch. And I think, Paul's wife maybe too joined us.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's almost become like a reunion for us every year of seeing all these people. And
well, it's one of our few local things. So much stuff's gone away, like even the Clubman's even, for example. But there's not a lot of motorcycle stuff around here anymore. So it's really special for that reason.
And that's an interesting point you bring up. That is something that I was a little miffed with and this is no disrespect whatsoever, but at the Legend show, the clubs weren't a part of that. And I've always viewed the clubs as being the heart and soul of this vintage motorcycle thing that we're all into. I mean, without the clubs, what do you have? You can't rely on Google and eBay to solve your problems. You need to know the people that know, right? And those are the club members. And so we've brought the clubs in from day one. And again, we just love the fact that they're there. And I hope they never go away,
Yeah, so I wanted to thank you for putting on such a great event. And it's not just this event. This, the Quail, which is happening next weekend, May 14th, but you also have Quail Motorsports in August.
That's coming up in August.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which is, it's featuring cars, but you always sneak some motorcycles in, right?
Yeah, we always have motorcycles there, and we put them up on beautiful platforms. And again, it's that's car week. It's not motorcycle week. That's actually the fun thing about next weekend, is that May on the Monterey Peninsula is not crazy.
Yeah.
May is a busy month with Mother's Day and Memorial Day, and there's a lot of things going on in May. But that's why we leave Sunday open, quite frankly, so that people have an opportunity, if they're coming from somewhere else, they can go to the aquarium or go out to the track or take in the peninsula. Hotels are available. You can get into a restaurant. Car week in August gets a little bunchy.
Kind of madhouse. Well, except on the Friday before the Quail Motorcycle Gathering, you got to watch out for this crazy group of guys on vintage bikes out riding. And gals. Yes, exactly. Because you do that every year, right? You do the Quail ride.
I take out 100 motorcycles for 100 miles. We include a few laps at Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's pretty cool.
Jim, we got to put that on our list.
Well, yeah. We've done a lap or two at Laguna, but not like that.
And I probably shouldn't admit this to you, Gordon, but we also have snuck into the Friday night dinner.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, this is all the people. This is, again, the bikes are great. It's the thing that brings us there, but this is our people.
It's the people.
And
Isn't
it's
it?
the conversations and the stories, and like, we've become friends with Rob Talbot, and like there's everyone has fascinating stories and histories, including yourself. So I really appreciate that you come on to share your stories, and we're really looking forward.
Yeah, very excited
to the event next weekend.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing all of you there, and I really appreciate the time. Again, I'm just honored to be a part of this little motorcycle clique. We're all a member of this club, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And will any of your bikes be on display?
That's something maybe I've had a couple bikes there just to fill spots, but I typically don't do that. Just like I don't go in the judge's room. It's just better for me to just, kind of be there helping orchestrate things. And I don't think I'll bring a bike there.
I just have one parting question. Just curious. Do you have, riding motorcycles now, do you have modern bikes that you ride? And what's your modern bike that you ride?
I do. So, I ride weather permitting. I have to admit, I'm not a foul weather rider. I don't mind getting caught in it, but I won't go out in it.
Yeah.
We have too much nice weather.
I know.
I live out in Carmel Valley, and my office is over by the airport, Monterey. So I get to go over the Los Orelos grade every day, twice.
Oh, nice.
And so if it's a nice day, I'm on my motorcycle. So I've had a number of GS BMWs, the Adventures. Again, I'm tall, so that's a bike that is perfectly suited for me. I'm currently on a 22 1250 GS Adventure, and just love that bike. BMW just they keep making them better. I mean, it's a Swiss Army knife of motorcycles. I did a little bit of a departure because kind of funny about this stuff. I like being a little different. And I was noticing just about every pack ride was either a group of Goldwings or Harleys or GSs.
Yeah.
So I thought, it's kind of like the silver 911s on the Monterey Peninsula. Every orthopedic surgeon, dentist, housewife. Yeah. So I went down the KTM path for about a year or so. I bought a 1290 Super Adventure KTM, which is an incredible motorcycle. There's no doubt about it. It's all about the motor. I mean, they're 40 pounds lighter with 40 more horsepower. They're impressive, but they're just, to me, they're just not a GS. So I ended up doing some business with Max Motorcycles again and traded the KTM in on a new GS Adventure. And I love that bike. So I ride a couple days a week at least.
Nice. Well, I have had once in my life, and maybe you've had this happen more than once, where I had what I call like the open road on Laurelist Grade where there were no cars.
It happens to me all the time.
Oh my gosh. Then it is the most amazing road. But most times you end up getting behind a car or truck. Horse trailer. Or something. It's horrible.
That road, I'm convinced that road was designed by a motorcyclist.
Yes.
There isn't one negative camber corner. They're all positive camber. They're banked perfectly. The one thing that you really need to be mindful of are deer.
Yeah.
At day or night, there's a fair amount of deer activity at certain times of the year. But it's just a gorgeous road. You don't have to ride it fast to appreciate it. It's not very long, but it just feels like you've just gone over the Alps or something. It's just that gorgeous. Plus, when you're going from the Carmel Valley side over to the Salinas side, when you first start to drop down from the 1,300-foot peak, you get a glimpse into Laguna Seca.
Yeah.
The short straight coming out of 5, going up to 6. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for coming on our show, sharing your stories. We'll make sure and come say hi.
Please do.
We're going to have a crew of us there. We may or may not be sharing a tent with Lawn Tigers. Exactly. Okay. So we're bringing our chairs, and we are going to be camping out the whole day.
Awesome.
Again, it's because of all the people. I'm just stoked about Roland Sands and his dad. I mean, there's such great lineage there. I used to have performance machine parts on my chopper back when I did the chopper. Yeah. So what a great history. So much to look forward to. So thank you very much for coming on. If people want to grab tickets, where do they go?
QuailLodge.com.
QuailLodge.com.
Tickets will be available at the door as well, which doesn't happen in August. The event sells out in August, the car show, but we always make tickets available. Again, it's weather has a lot to do with it. Right now, we're getting some really kind of weird stuff around here. It's cold, windy. It's windy.
Last couple of days.
Saturday, from what I'm kind of obsessed with the long range weather forecast right about now.
Yeah,
shows sunny skies, beautiful weather. I suspect we'll get a fair amount of drive up folks that just decide that day they'll stick their head out the window and ride down from San Jose or Santa Cruz or ride up from Paso Robles or whatever. So it's good weather on Saturday.
Nice.
Awesome. Stoked. Yeah.
Well, we always look forward to it. And yeah, we will come say hi to you.
Please do. Well, thank you very much for your interest. Thanks for all you do for this motorcycle community. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, we have so much fun.
Yeah.
And we're quite spoiled where we live. Not just the riding we have, but the communities we have and the events that we have, including the Quail, which we brag about, which is in our backyard, and then Laguna Seca. I mean, come on.
I know.
Come on.
I say this just about every time, and I absolutely mean it. And that is, we're not curing cancer. These are motorcycles. Let's have fun. We have to have fun, especially coming out of what we've all come out of these last couple of years. One of the things that we weren't told we couldn't do is ride motorcycles.
And we didn't, right? We took a little hiatus, so we didn't end up in the.
In fact,
hospital.
you remember when the lockdown first started at the beginning?
Oh, yeah.
Jim and I took to the streets with our dirt bikes and started doing urban exploring and going on like jogging paths and things that you couldn't go on.
Yeah,
and there were animals everywhere.
Yeah,
Turkeys.
It's the ultimate. I think we're the best example of social distancers.
Yeah, I know. You had a quick
I
question?
was just going to mention, we were talking about community and in this area in Laguna Seca, and I mentioned it earlier, but the ARMA racing at Laguna, I think it's in July.
Yeah.
But you had mentioned your love for British bikes, and when we were there last for the racing, me and Emma were hanging where the bikes going first on the track because it's that accessible, and you could hear the Nortons and the Triumphs coming. They had such a distinctive exhaust note, and it was really cool. But at the ARMA racing, you can like a lot of the stuff there. You can walk through the pits and you can see the bikes up close. And like you had mentioned, I love the race bikes, and one of the reasons I like them is they're so purpose built. Everything's on the bike has a specific reason. It might be hand built or custom made or whatever. But Laguna Seca provides a great opportunity for community and seeing a lot of this old vintage racing.
It really does. Those ARMA races come after the Moto America races, which I believe was the 8th and 10th of July.
Yeah, middle of July, back to back, I think.
The ARMA races after, and that's strategically placed due to some of the fragged motors that happen at ARMA races. They didn't want that to happen before Moto America. Even though they've got diapers on them now, there's an occasional rod or so that decides to expose itself.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Good stuff.
Well, cool. Thank you again, Gordon. We really appreciate it, and I hope I hope this week isn't too stressful for you. I know the week for event can be a bit.
Well, it's I kind of live by the train has left the station philosophy, which is it's go time. It's all about Plan B at this point. So lots of planning ahead, and we've done all that, and so now it's just we all just need to show up and do what we're supposed to do.
Have fun. It's motorcycles, right?
Exactly.
Cool.
I look forward to seeing you all there.
All right. Thanks, Gordon.
Thank you all.
All right. See ya.
Cheers.
Bye now.
So, the Quail, I'm so excited to go to the Quail. Coming off of the one show.
That's right.
Last weekend, which I wanted to kind of give a report. I know that we did the interviews there. But Jim, you've been many times to the Quail.
Yeah, I think I've been to the 5 previous.
And you didn't make it. This is John's
Yeah,
first.
I've never been to the Quail.
John, what do you think?
Well, I haven't been
Not
to
the Quail, to the one show.
Oh, the one show. It was the best motorcycle event I've ever gone to. The vibe was everything. It just was. It was the most.
I think John's tearing up.
I am. I'm verklempt. I'm verklempt right now. It's the tribe, and I think that's kind of the biggest piece about it for me is that you go there and it's our people, and I was telling my wife, Melissa went with us. I was telling her, I was so happy to see Harleys in a leather clad daddy looking group. These was these were
that
builders.
AMF Harley that was.
Oh my God, yeah! But these were builders. These were riders and people that were there. Most of the bikes I assume that we saw were daily riders for folks, and it just was it was awesome. I love the maker culture. I loved it was cool.
I love the shaggin' wagon.
I know you did. I know you did.
Was that at the show or was that downtown?
It was right next to our lounge.
It was right next to our lounge.
I think Emma took a nap in that.
It was really cool. I interviewed Sergey and Melissa. She had fun.
She had a blast. Yeah. She loved being with the Misfits, of course. But that's her. Melissa's such an extrovert. That's her spot right there. So.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, how many laps would you say you did of the place?
I clocked it. I did like 16,000 steps one day. So.
Wow.
So that's about 7 miles, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I know I just kept doing laps, and every time I discover something I hadn't noticed, including like the art on the the walls, and I got some toy motorcycles coming soon.
You had a Prince cover band.
Yeah, I know. Oh, what a great event! But and the food and the culture and everything.
Yeah.
So great. And have you been to the Quail yet?
No, it's the first time. To go. Yeah, looking forward to that.
We're popping both your cherries.
You are.
You know what? I mean, and Jim, and it's hard. You can't even you can't compare the one and the Quail. They're two completely different things.
Yeah, totally different.
But equally enjoyable, both of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just very different.
I think at least the one show is multiple days. So we really get to soak it all in. I think the Quail is just one day, and it's like not that long. I think it only goes to like 3 or 4.
Yeah, but it's nice because we can ride down, grab breakfast on the way. It's like a local thing. It's really I enjoy the Quail. It's intimate and it's in our backyard. Pick up artichokes on the way home.
Yeah, I mean, John, were you talking to a lot of people at the one show?
I sure was.
And that's the thing that's nice too about the Quail is everyone is approachable.
Mm-hmm.
You can go and talk to anyone. And I'm looking forward to Roland Sands. We've interviewed him before, but that'll be so cool to have all his whole family there. And I recommend you just go and mingle. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that's cool about the Quail, where it's the one show, it was harder to find the builders of the bikes. They kind of dropped their bikes off, and then they leave. They're probably there partying. I think Emma's the only one who kind of stood, who hovered around her bike. Mike did a little hovering around his bikes too, but at the Quail, oftentimes they're sitting in a camping chair right next to it. Mm-hmm. They want to talk to you about it. They want to tell you, all about this bike, the history, where they got it, what, they dug it out of the hillside, and then they traveled across Siberia. I mean, there's crazy stories.
Well, and there's such cool people like Malcolm Smith you met there, like you said, being on stage with Craig Vetter or Mert Lawwell is typically there, and hopefully he's there this year. But there's so many really cool people that are at such a small gathering. It's very intimate. I think that's what I like most about it. Even like when guys are going around judging, you can follow the judge and hang out with them and with their little clipboard. Remember, Clay was a judge one year.
Yeah,
Clay Murphy, SFMC. So. There's a lot I like about it. Like I said, and you can hit Pizzini's farm on the way home for some artichokes and fried artichokes too.
And going back to the one show, Bagel. I mean, you've been to the one show before, and I interviewed you about the 2 scooters there, the one.
Well, there were. Yeah. Depending on your definition, there were at least 3 scooters there.
One of them being an Ape.
Yeah, 3. Well,
yeah, which we've now discovered is actually
they're all motorcycles.
It's
4 if you include the Ape, because there was the Doodle Bug, the Lambretta, the Morphus.
Yeah.
And the Ape.
Jim, the Morphus. Yeah. I've never heard of this. You have to Google this. Is Yamaha Morphus?
Yep.
Yamaha Morphus. It's a thing. They had one there, and it was really beautifully done. In fact, I was trying to find the builder. I wanted to talk to him. Bagel, you said that it had custom wheels. It was lowered. What else was done?
Had some custom bodywork that was added onto it for a cleaner look.
Yeah.
It had motorcycle handlebars with clip-ons. It was really nicely done. Very sleek and understated.
Jim's looking at a picture.
Is it the thing that looks like a jet ski?
Yes, that's it.
It's a total
it looks
jet,
like a jet ski.
Yeah, like you could ride it right under the lake and
right.
Brilliant. I like it. They're very aerodynamic.
Yeah, well, it has an air suspension that basically the bike is lowered to the floor when it's parked.
And how big is the front wheel? Looks like a 15-inch, 16. It's not small.
15. Yeah, it's either 14 or 15. I think it was pretty big. It's bigger than stock.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Liza, you should get one of those.
It's cool, man. I didn't even know it existed.
What we haven't talked about is the private museum we went to, or private collection we went to.
Well, we can't talk about it.
Well, we can talk. We can't
No,
say
we
any
can't-
details.
We
right?
can't talk about it.
Oh,
No, we're not supposed to talk about it.
okay. We can't talk about it.
We can't talk about it. But we saw a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. We can't say where it is, which I don't know where it
Right,
is.
I'm thinking
and
more
we
of the
can't say
motorcycles
what's
over there.
in it.
Oh.
We can't say what's in it. But we had a personal invitation to somebody's private collection. That was really cool. Had a great collection of bikes but more so it had just ephemera and just things everywhere that you're constant looking and seeing like memories and just cool stuff everywhere, and a couch and a bar, and just, meant to just hang out and just soak it all in. But we can't talk about it.
Oh, sorry, y'all.
That was
It was
secret.
awesome though.
But I did want to share. I'm not jumping to emails just yet, but we got one. Bagel, you'll get a laugh out of this. This is from our friend Matt, Numbnuts Matt,
Hey.
Oh yeah.
who was up there at the show, and he said, "Misfits, what a great show!" Yeah, Jim, he came up from California to go to the one show.
Up from California?
Yeah, Numbnuts Matt.
Yeah. No,
He was
I
here,
know.
yeah.
Oh, he came from here up to the
Yeah,
one show. Yeah,
up
no,
to the
that's
one
awesome.
show.
That must be his nickname now, right?
Yeah, it's Numbnuts Matt. He says, "Thanks for letting me and my buddy Jason ride along at the one show. Congrats to Emma and the two Mikes on showing some fantastic bikes, and Lila for the excellent photography exhibit. It was fun to get recognized by a couple listeners as Matt from Numbnuts, but it was way more fun to get misrecognized as Bagel by several more listeners. Pretty neat chatting with listeners who stopped by our illicit show booth. Great folks. All this and a bitchin' t-shirt thanks to your Transcendental podcast." Ooh. Yeah, Bagel, did you realize people thought Matt was you? That was one of his
he
highlights.
mentioned that when we were at the show.
Yeah, I thought that was great too. I'm trying to think. There was some other stuff. Did you guys see that Suzuki is dropping out of MotoGP?
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What?
I don't know. I just heard they were dropping out.
Yeah.
I mean, because you guys follow MotoGP.
I do, yeah.
They've been doing well, haven't they?
Joan Muir won the year before last.
Yeah, they got good riders.
So
Who knows? I mean, they got those companies have their fingers in so many pots. Kawasaki's. I mean, they make heavy machinery. They make stuff we don't even know about. I don't know.
I hate to see a brand leave MotoGP.
Well, nice to see
we
someone
got
new come
Aprilia,
in.
so
Yeah.
Aprilia came in, so they're doing well too. But
Yeah, you got Aprilia in there, but you don't have Kawasaki, right?
Kawasaki's World Superbike.
Yeah, you don't. have
Well, it's a bummer
Kawasaki.
because of the history, right? You've got such, you think of Barry Sheen and Suzuki and so
Right.
much history in MotoGP with Suzuki, but yeah.
Well, maybe Triumph will come in with something.
I don't know.
Well,
I
they're
thought
doing
that was
they do the motors for Moto 2. That's the spec motors, the Triumph Triple.
Yeah,
But Joe Roberts, won not last weekend, but the race before, American Racer won Moto 2.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and Jim, you know what I haven't done in a while? I really haven't gone for a ride.
I know. I try to drag you out.
Dude,
But,
I know. How was your ride yesterday?
Oh, it was lovely. I took the FC1 out, 2012 FC1. It's been a great bike. And I went up the coast. So, yeah, it was lovely. Went up the coast. It was a little windy yesterday, like we were talking about earlier. So, a little beat up by the wind. But, we have some great rides or some great roads off Highway 1 north of Santa Cruz. And then the nice part about Highway 1 is sometimes you can get stuck on traffic or stuck behind traffic on the weekends. But when you head north out of Santa Cruz on the 1, there's plenty of stretches where you can, drop a gear, especially on the leader bikes, and leapfrog pretty well through traffic. So I went up the coast to a road called Gazos Creek, which is
I love that.
about 30 minutes roughly up the coast from here. And then you make a right, head up into the Santa Cruz Mountains, and just beautiful. The wildflowers were pumping. Not too many people once you got off Highway 1. The wind died down. But beautiful roads, and sometimes you feel like you're in Europe or Scotland or Austria. I mean, just rolling beautiful hills and mountains in the background, and trees and meadows. Really beautiful. So went through Pescadero, saw some a bunch of motorcycles. There were some Vampires MC people at Pescadero. I flipped them off, rode past, and then just came back down the 1. But it's really nice on the leader bike to be able to let it stretch out. And you hop on 1 and you get to go through the first 3 gears with nobody in front of you. And, next thing you know, you look down, you're doing triple digits and the bike just wants to keep running, So it was a lovely ride. And then, stopped at a windsurfing beach, or not windsurfing and kite surfing beach on the way back, called Waddell Creek, which is also super sharky, like a great white breeding area too. There's a little bench there carved into the side of the cliff, kind of a secret spot. I think we tried to find it on that one ride. Who was with me? I mean, we tried.
Yeah, I don't think it was
anyway.
me.
Yeah, so there's a little secret bench carved into the cliff. So hung out, watched the waves for a little while, and then came on back home. But we're just blessed every which way you go. There's awesome riding around here. Yeah. So
Well, you went down the coast last week too.
yeah, and then the weekend before I went south down to Big Sur, about the same distance, about about an hour south of here, to a iconic bridge called Bixby Bridge, which if you see a lot of pictures of Big Sur or postcards, it's this big arching bridge over a canyon that goes back into the mountains down there. And it's not a secret, but a lot of people don't know there's a dirt road right at Bixby Bridge. It's because they have a lot of barricades on the dirt road that say no parking, and cones. Yeah. But it's actually a public accessible road, and it takes you back behind the bridge, and it's dirt.
We've done it many times.
Yeah, and it's about a 4 or maybe 5 hour round trip from here. If you stop for some tea in Big Sur and a cookie or something.
When people rent my KLR on Twisted Road, they usually want to go down the coast, and I say, when you get to the bridge, make a left.
Make a left.
And it's a great little, adds what, like an hour? To
Something
the
like
trip?
that.
It's like 10 miles.
Yeah, if you go down and back, it adds. That's what I did last time. Went down, then went to Big Sur, had a cookie, came back, and then rode it back the other way. But it's fun. It's I took the big bike, the Africa Twin, and there's enough dirt and hills and ruts to, every now and then, like a steep switch back downhill or uphill or ruts and that kind of thing. But I tell you, I was enjoying being on the Africa Twin. I think I'm ready to take it back out for some real adventure. Yeah, it's big bike time.
I want to take it out too. I do. You know what we were supposed to do tonight that I'm not doing because I'm not quite ready yet. In fact, I want to extend it a week. So, guys, remember I announced we're going to give away money, right?
Great idea.
Yeah.
We're giving away $1,000 to any invention, creation, project.
Did
anything.
you do your seat leg balls?
No,
Have those been thrown in there?
I did it.
The
My
seat-
balls.
the
You don't know
balls.
what my balls are.
Oh, I've seen your balls.
You've seen my balls. Okay.
All three of them.
No, my seat balls, because they don't fit on the Corbin
for
seat
dirt
on the
bikes.
bike. Yeah, they're for dirt bikes. Anyway, I didn't. But we had asked people to submit like fundraisers to us to be nominated. And it's supposed to end this week, but I want to give it another week. So we're still taking nominations. Tonight's nomination that I'm going to share came from a listener, and this one is called Ricky's Last Ride. And Ricky was a riding buddy of theirs who was going to do this trip and ended up getting killed. So his buddies decided to hold a fundraiser in his honor, and the funds go to blood bikes. Are you familiar with blood bikes?
No.
This is over in the UK.
Oh, yeah. I know.
They find that motorcycles can transport blood faster than cars because of all the traffic. So they have blood bikes, and I'm not sure if they're volunteers or I think they may be volunteers because I think I know somebody who does it. They're volunteer motorcyclists who run blood between like hospitals and help save lives because of it. So this one is called Ricky's Last Ride, and it is raising. Think about it's in UK, but they're raising money to buy more blood bikes. And I'm like, that's pretty cool too. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good things. So if you have, again, a Kickstarter invention, I'm still very fond of the kids book that has the audible sounds. I love that. In fact, I checked it today, and he's only raised, I think, $144.
Oh, no.
I know, to get the kids book. So I'm going to be compiling all the nominations that we have gotten, including any new ones we get. The only thing I'm not going to be including in this, if it is a fundraiser because somebody was in an accident and is raising funds. If you go to Indiegogo, it's pretty much all people who are in an accident need funds to pay for medical bills. We're not trying to do that. What we're trying to do is to put the money into something that betters the motorcycle community for all people.
Like Break Free Tech, for example.
Exactly.
You were early proponents of them.
Exactly. And not like the cigar throttle.
Oh,
You don't know what this is, do you? This goes way back, John. Remember when we first started looking at like Kickstarter items, and this kind of became the joke that this guy invented a motorcycle throttle that had a cap on the end so you can store your cigar
that's a great idea.
in there and then close the cap while you're riding.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was cigar storage.
Oh, I like it.
And we thought it was stupid.
No.
What's smarter than Mike's knife breaking clutch lever handles or whatever levers that were knives?
The guillotine.
Yeah, they almost cut his finger off.
Jeez.
God. I know. So if you have any fundraisers that you would like to nominate, all you do is send me a link to their fundraising page. Don't say, hey, my buddy's raising money. Here's his email address. No. It needs to be an organized fundraiser, a Kickstart from a fundraising site or something like, Ricky's Last Ride where you can hit donate and something somewhat organized. Send it to Recycle Motorcycle Garage at gmail.com. We'll add it to the list. And then next week, we're going to be creating a poll and sending it out to all of our Patreon subscribers. They get to vote. They get to decide where the money goes. And instead of it all going to one place, if they vote 50-50 between two of them, then each one gets 500. If they vote 30-30, 40, 300, 300, 400. So however much people vote will be a percentage of it. So, Recycle Motorcycle Garage at gmail.com. Send us your links. You guys saw the new shirts because you were at the show.
I did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We've got new shirts. What do you think of it?
They're awesome.
Yeah, they look great.
Yeah.
They
Actually,
pop.
John didn't get one because I didn't give him one.
No.
Because I gave them out to listeners. So anytime a listener recognized me, I gave him a shirt.
Nice.
Yeah, which then I think other people started doing that too because the shirt supply suddenly dwindled.
They look great though. They came well done.
Well, Melissa's got like 6 at home, so.
Oh, come on. But it's got the Evel Knievel design.
Yeah.
Oh, those. Oh, yeah. We
that
got
secret?
jackets. Those are for the misfits. And one special listener who knows who he is. Yeah, I know. I'm being very, very discreet. So one more week on that. There was something else we're going to talk about. Now I'm blanking. Help me out here. Let's go back in the conversation. Oh, we could talk about where's Emma.
Where's Emma?
Where is Emma?
Where's Emma?
Well,
Didn't we see her briefly
Last
in
we
her
saw her, she was in her
spaceship?
car.
this, I know she came in for a second. This ties back in with the Quail.
Oh.
She is prepping bikes for the Quail.
Ah,
She is making her monies.
excellent.
And so she is working feverishly to get all the bikes set.
Nice.
You know what else I'm doing this week before the
What,
Quail?
what?
I am going to the infamous Pismo Beach, California,
Dude.
with my motorcycle, and I hope not to get killed or maimed in the process or lit on fire. I'm stoked though. I can't wait. Have you ever been down to Pismo?
No.
Pimmo.
I mean, I've gone past on the one.
I think it's close it's kind of as close as California gets to Florida in some ways.
Yeah.
So I used to go down there years ago with people. So it's a place, it's a beach in California, open to the public where you can drive and ride on. And it's firm enough so that you can take RVs on it and cars. Obviously, all the sand toys are big on it. So you can ride along the Pacific Ocean on the beach, but then it opens up into Oceana Dunes, it's called, which is a huge dunes area down there. And, it's under threat of being closed. Unfortunately, at least the dunes are. I think the beach may remain open. And
Stupid California protecting everything.
Yeah. Well, I've been down there years ago, and you get why they're going to close it. I tell you what, son.
There's reasons.
I had never seen a Sobe bomb before, but after that night, I'd seen a whole bunch of Sobe bombs. Have you ever seen this?
What is
what's
a
this
Zombie
one?
Bomb?
Okay, real quick. If you're listening, take notes. But you basically, it's something it's dangerous you do at night. But you get a Sobe bottle. They used to be made out of glass, so a glass Sobe bottle. Fill it full of gasoline all the way to the top with gas.
Oh, God.
Then you get the cap. It's an aluminum cap. You pop a hole, like a very small pinhole in the top, and then gently screw it back onto the Sobe bottle, just very little bit. Then we would have a huge fire, but you take some shovelfuls of the fire out into the desert, like about 100 yards, and you make another fire. then you put the Sobe bottle full of gasoline on top of the fire. I'm watching this guy do that. I'm watching from behind a truck. I'm like, he's gonna die. But I'm watching, ready for the explosion. So you set it on the fire. It doesn't explode or anything like that, and it just sits on the fire. Then it starts bubbling and boiling. So on the fire, the gas is boiling in the bottle. It starts jetting fume up out into the air, which is then on fire. So it's like a 6-foot blowtorch just blowing out the top of the Sobe bottle that's in the fire. You're like, oh my God, something crazy is going to happen. And then after like 10 minutes or so, it's variable, which is part of the excitement. I guess what happens is the lid expands enough that it blows off the top of the bottle, which then turns the fuel into a fuel-air mixture, which explodes out, which explodes straight out the top of the bottle and turns into, no joke, a column of flame like 20 feet wide by like 40 or 50 feet tall.
We have got to do this next time.
It was
no, you know what I'm thinking?
Nuts.
I know,
it lit up the entire
I know what you're thinking.
thing.
At the Quail.
No.
Oh.
I know how we're going to win the burnout contest at Vintage Days.
No.
The only question is, can we get MotoGP
to put it on his head?
To put it on his head.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, God, on his head. No.
I think we might be able to make that happen.
The year that Vintage Motorcycle Days really burned down for real.
Oh, my God. I wish I never brought that up. But it's a great idea.
Can I get that? Can you write down those instructions again?
Yeah. No. Let me know. I'll show you. But no,
Firemen
good
across
fun.
the world are grinding their teeth.
But Pismo's a cool place. So that they got all the sand toys like the sand rails and all that. But the motorcycling's cool. I mean, to do it proper in the dunes, you have to have a paddle tire and a 2-stroke or 450 big bike. But it's really cool to see. You can see talented riders there tearing up the sand, but also that shit where they launch.
Yeah.
Like hundreds and hundreds of feet off dunes. But at the same time, people really get hurt out there.
Take a shovel.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'm going to go too far into the dunes. I'm going to be by myself. But it is scary. You got to have one of those flag things because people get helicoptered out of there regularly. It could be either you get T-boned by a sand truck, they don't see you, or you can come up one of those like a lip of a sand dune and you think it's going to tabletop out. And you got to carry some speed, because if you don't, you just kind of die out at the top of the dune. But a lot of times it just drops right off to a steep drop off. And next thing you know, you're in the middle of the air, just launched and proper fucked. So, but anyway, I'm looking forward to riding down the beach and, hopefully not getting killed, but but people get liquored up and start riding through people's campsites and it can get buck wild. So anyway, I should be back for the quailing. Good shape.
So, I don't know if you guys noticed something I brought in the room with me, but I've figured out a new thing to collect. But it's not really a new thing. In fact, you probably don't know this, but when I was a kid, I used to collect Star Wars toys. Because I remember thinking, I actually saw like a talk show where somebody had Gone with the Wind paraphernalia and how
it's like
much
Phil
it was
Donahue
worth.
or something.
And like before that, really like things from movies. I mean, Star Wars is really the first movie that had collectibles and toys. And I was, like as a kid, I was like, oh, I'm going to collect these. These will be worth money someday.
Got the X-Wing fighter.
Oh, I had all the things. The things. I was collecting it up into my early 20s. And then I sold the whole collection to make rent one month. It was but you know what? It was worth it that month. But you know what is very similar to a motorcycle and comes from Star Wars?
The land speeder? Or the
speeders.
You do have toys down there.
Look what
at
I
that.
have started collecting. Yeah, I have one here. Is this it?
That's a motorcycle.
No, it's up there. Oh, it's up there.
Oh, I saw it earlier.
I got the little Leia speeder.
Nice.
So I've discovered from all the different movies, there's different speeders from different characters. So if you don't know, speeder is basically like a floating motorcycle without wheels.
There's a tread speeder.
Yeah, I know.
Cool. Oh my gosh!
Right?
You can learn different languages, like what it's called in the Moto Speeder Doulet.
I should have asked Gordon, car or motorcycle?
What if it has no wheels?
Yeah, pretty cool, huh? So I got a bunch of that. Is that the Luke speeder there?
Yeah, this is the Luke speeder, the speeder bike. Then you got the Elite speeder bike, and then you've got this bitchin' ass first order driver and tread speeder.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch. Like, I've gone down a rabbit hole. I'm collecting speeders now. But fortunately, I still have a few empty shelves in here.
Yeah, you got a few.
A few empty shelves. So I can do that. Another thing I wanted to mention, I think I mentioned to you guys outside, Bagel hasn't heard this, but, I know that used bikes have gone up in value. I mean, John, you were able to sell your dirt bike, and after a year, you sold it for more than what you paid for it.
$600 more than I paid for it.
Yeah, which is great, right?
Yeah.
You put improvements in, but basically you had a bike for a year. And
right.
We know that the used market is crazy, and we know that the new market is crazy too, but there's something I didn't realize is happening. So I went to a shop yesterday, just a shop over the hill, we'll say. And I was just browsing and looking at bikes, and they had like a bunch of dirt bikes because I know those are really hard to get at one time. And they only had one Grom sitting over in the corner. And I'm like, Grom, I keep saying one day. And I went and looked at the price tag. How much are they going now? Well, Bagel, do you remember how much Groms are?
Not exactly offhand, but a few grand, right?
Yeah, it said
35, aren't they? 35.
Yeah, it said like list price $35, and then it said $300 freight fee and a $600 assembly fee.
Yeah,
and then a $1,000 market adjustment.
Jeez,
and I went,
wow,
market adjustment,
upward,
AKA
not downward,
profit.
right?
Yeah,
They're like, yeah, well,
What?
don't buy it if you don't want to.
What
Somebody will.
market
That's exactly right.
adjustment?
We're going to adjust the market for you.
What is that?
wow.
Because they can.
Yeah, they're literally shifting the price up.
This is America.
But what I thought was weird, so then I'm like, wait a minute. I started looking at all the price tags, thinking they would all have 1,000. No, a lot of them had no market adjustment. There was one that had a $250 market adjustment. In fact, the highest market adjustment was that Grom with $1,000. And I'm looking at a Grom that's now, I think it said like 5,700 or something like that, versus a
TNT.
no, looking at like a Versus.
Yeah.
That wasn't that much
Or like
more.
a 300,
Like
cc bike.
Well,
Yeah.
the KLX I'm looking at, it's only 55.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't that much more. And I went,
Yeah.
what? And I haven't heard of market adjustment.
We have now.
I know
Yeah,
I think
that
car
sounds-
dealers have been doing it for a while now.
Yeah, that sounds like fancy business talk for markup.
Yeah, no, it's not fancy at all. It's here's what it is because we can. But I guess it's on the bikes that are very hard to get. I was talking with, I think it was Craig today. I forget, or Yuri. It was one of them. And he was talking to somebody who works at a dealer who said that they have, I think it was Craig, because we were talking about new bikes for new riders, because he has the riding school, that he was talking to a dealer who had like 72 deposits for a Honda Rebel.
Jeez.
And Honda shipped him 3.
Oof,
Right.
man.
You can't get it. But the interesting conversation that came from that is, and I think you started noticing this with me too, there are these alternative brands that are popping up, like Royal Enfields. They're getting their bikes out, right?
Yeah.
Benelli's. They're I mean, they're still hard to find, but like when we saw them at AIM Expo, they look like decent bikes. Emma gave them the
What was
thumbs
that
up.
the new Spanish bike we saw in at one motor show?
Riehu.
Riehu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jim.
It's a pretty bike.
You showed me that, yeah.
Yeah. CF Moto. They, he told me that up in Hayward, they're going to be doing a CF Moto day. And we've been emailing back and forth with them because to me, it's interesting to see these. And they're not, I don't think they're all Chinese. Well, I mean, Royal Enfield isn't Chinese, but they aren't like the big 4 or one of the big American brands, or an Italian. These are ones that are clawing their way up to the top. But they're like, we have bikes. There's 70 or 69 people aren't getting their Honda Rebel, CF Moto, or a Royal Enfield Meteor 300.
Yep.
Great alternative. But what I also have noticed is they have no resale value.
That's exactly right.
No resale. So you can get, like, I think it was last year, I was curious about the Benelli, the TRK 502. And somebody had one for sale on Craigslist, and I went to go see it, and he wanted $5,000 for it. I think he paid $6,500 brand new for this 500. If you're not familiar with the TRK 502, it's a mid-size adventure touring bike.
Yep.
Basically, right? I think he paid $6,500 and he was asking $5,000. It was maybe a year or two old. And only because his buddies rode bigger bikes and he wanted to keep up with them. And so he wanted $5,000. I'm like, oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm not really interested in buying, but, just curious. And it looked fit and finish. It looked good. And at a time when people are getting more than what they paid for bikes, at a time when people are on waiting lists for new bikes, his bike sat on Craigslist for months.
Yeah.
Really?
Months.
Yeah, as I'm thinking about a new dirt bike, I really like that SWM 300. It's a couple $1,000s more expensive than the CRF or the KLX, but on the flip side, there's going to be no resale on it. I know, and that's the problem. Because I'm going to have to make some money back on the other end of this.
Well, and that's kind of a hole in the market. And I'm just I think I'm just broadcasting it out there because there are people trying to find bikes, and there are bikes that I think, they're not as tried and tested as, like all the other bikes, but Royal Enfields and these like CF Motos and Benellis.
Yeah.
They're a viable option.
I like the Royal Enfields. I would have no second thoughts about buying one of those just because it's a tried and true company.
And I think maybe the Himalayan has a used market.
I bet it does.
But some of these others don't. And it's kind of crazy, especially like the Benelli. Zero.
Especially if you're looking at buying new, because you're already, taking it in the shorts, buying it. I'm not saying don't buy a new bike. It's awesome to do it. But if you're a new rider and you buy like a Royal Enfield or something that doesn't have the great resale value, then all of a sudden you ride it for a year and you're bored with it and you go to flip it, you're going to get hosed on the deal. Whereas if you buy like a well-known Japanese brand, it'll probably be
a 20-year-old KLR.
And it'll hold its
going
value
for the same price.
Yeah. So that's the trade-off, I guess.
Crazy. So I guess I'm just kind of pointing out, it seems like there's a hole in the market where you can get a decent bike for a good price. The problem is it doesn't have a good resale, so you can't sell it anytime soon. But that also means if you see one for sale on Craigslist,
cash talks.
You can exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can talk them down. I really didn't need one of those bikes, but I kept seeing it come up, and I'm like, bet you I get off for 35.
You probably could have done that, yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. And Bagel and John will be excited for this. It's official. An airline ticket was purchased. Moin will be at AMA Vintage Days.
Oh, good God.
Moin Khan.
Oh, my.
The motocross champion of Pakistan.
Oh, my.
Riding in the barrel races.
Oh, I can't wait.
On my little Benelli.
Oh, he should enter the hair scramble or something.
Oh, and guess what? This is a secret.
Or the vintage motocross.
This is a secret. So I'm only telling you guys.
Okay.
I got an Evel Knievel suit for him and Haley to borrow.
Oh, you did not.
To share. I bought a smaller size one. Huh. So yeah.
They have to share it? You didn't get them each one.
No, you know what? I think I'm going to let Haley have it at Americade and then Moyne at Vintage Days.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I got the full suit.
Haley Bell's going to be there too?
Because they're about the same size.
Haley Bell's going to be at AMA?
Haley Bell's going to be there too.
This is the year to go.
And they both agreed to be naked and on fire doing a burnout. So I think that's how we're going to win.
Get the Sobe bottle ready.
Hey, Big, I'm just curious because I was just talking about some of the Chinese bikes that have no resale value, but you're getting, they're available. Is that also carry over into scooters?
Oh, yeah. Chinese scooters have little to no resale value.
But I'm not talking about the crappy ones. Are there good Chinese scooters?
Or
not even Chinese. Like if you're talking about like a Buddy or something that isn't a Vespa.
Sure. I mean, well, buddies have gotten quite a reputation
Yeah.
for being really solid, good bikes. So their retail values is very strong. I mean, it's just tough to find a buddy for under $2,000.
So if somebody was looking for a scooter and they wanted to find a deal, what's the hole in the market? What's a brand that is overlooked that doesn't have a good resale value? They might be able to get cheap.
Geez, I mean, that's the thing is bikes, good bikes just are not going cheap these days. I mean, if one bike that you could get into if you really want to, scooter wise, is Bajaj's.
I was gonna say Bajaj.
Because they're out of the market now. I mean, they've been out of the market for like close to 15 years now, I think, at this point. So you're kind of on your own as far as like maintenance and parts are getting harder to find.
Yeah.
So you can get into a Bajaj pretty cheap. Like they often go for $500 to $1,000 in running condition.
Let me tell you what I want.
Yeah.
And I may be making this up. When I was doing the research for the car or motorcycle game, so that first one, that Bajaj, that basically is like a rickshaw, they still make those. You can buy it brand new, and I think
those they do.
It's a diesel turbo. Did I make that up?
Well, not in the U.S. I mean,
no, not in the U.S., but I think it's a Bajaj diesel turbo rickshaw. I'm like, I want that.
I don't know if you could get that into the country, though.
Oh, come on.
The EPA and things.
Come on, Bagel. I know you have tricks.
DOT.
I know you have tricks.
Well, not if it's less than 25 years old.
Damn.
That's the thing. I mean, and I don't think they had turbo diesels more than 25 years ago. I could be wrong, but and those oddball vehicles are tough ones to bring in. Because they've never been homologated for the U.S. So you're going to have a hard time, bringing anything like that in. I'm afraid.
Well, poopy. That's what I say. I think we have time to read a couple emails, but before we do, I mentioned that at the Quail, we're going to be sharing a booth with our friends at Law Tigers.
Rawr, yeah.
So I want to make sure we give them a plug, also because they're paying us too. But Jim, go ahead. What do you got there?
Here's the plug. Law Tigers of Northern California is proud to support NorCal's local motorcycle shops and businesses.
Yes.
And will be featuring Mototown in Marina, California at the upcoming Quail Motorcycle Gathering on May 14th, 2022 at the Quail Golf Course in Carmel by the Sea, California. No, Carmel Valley.
It is very nice.
But it's very beautiful. Where do we left
And you
off?
can actually throw a rock and hit the Vetter Ranch.
Yeah, but they might throw something else back. It would be a catapult. A treasure bolt would come launching out of the woods. This is the triumphant return, as we were talking earlier, of the Quail that has been postponed since 2019 due to the pandemic.
Yeah.
Check out Mototown, the amazing Miss Emma, and the Quail on Facebook and Instagram for more details. And visit lawtigersgrar.com to learn about their ongoing support of the riding community here in Northern California and nationwide. And they are darn nice people.
Yes, they are. Mm-hmm. Exactly. You got an email to read there, John?
Yeah, I do. This is from JJ Webb.
Hey, JJ. Good times. Remember that show?
He says, the next time you have Trauma Doctor Chick from Chicago on, you could have...
Detroit.
Was that Dr. Detroit?
I thought so. You could have game of Name That Scar. Test her knowledge about what caused the scar and how long it took to heal.
Ooh, Lila had that good scar.
If Miss Emma wants to show off more of her superpowers, ask her to identify the make and model of the bike that caused the scar.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm sure other misfits will be able to identify such things due to the inquisitiveness of some of the most common injuries. The only issue is the virtual nature of the contest would have to be photos sent in by listeners. Just a thought. Thanks, JJ.
Name that muffler.
Jim, do you have a motorcycle scar?
A motorcycle scar. No, I just have swelling and odd things sticking out of my bones like that. I have displaced bones, but no scars, I don't think.
How about you, Bagel? Do you have a scooter scar?
Trying to think. I mean, scooters have left their mark on me a few times, or the road has left its mark on me a few times specifically, but nothing that's really lasted. I mean, the worst thing I think I had was I lost my big toenail on one crash.
Oh!
It grew back. It's fine again.
Oh.
It's all good.
Oh, that reminds me. Bagel, I think you need to talk to your people.
Oh,
Am I correct? I believe I saw this. Was there a recent scooter rally? Yes, there was. In Cincinnati, Ohio,
okay.
that calls itself the Motosexual Scooter Rally.
Wait, wasn't that friends of ours?
Yes.
Was that Dan or somebody?
They've taken that moniker
Dan!
and emblazoned it on a scooter rally now.
Dan!
Yeah, wasn't it? It was someone we knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah,
Dan
okay.
Hofstede.
Yeah. We still have his picture up in the garage with
He's
his
awesome.
crotch on fire. Dude, there's a motorcycle rally. That's what I have to say. I have one to read here, and then Bagel, I sent you one to get ready. So this is in response, again, to Emma saying there's no such thing as a $500 project bike that's worth it. Which, dude, you should have seen there was a beautiful CB 550 at the one show.
Okay.
That was I think a $400 project
Barn
bike.
find, yeah.
That, looked great. Really great. And this one from our friend Leo says, "Hey, wankers.
Back at you.
Back in 86, I moved to sunny Santa Cruz from New York City and got me a bicycle. After it was stolen,
After the earthquake.
I found two near complete Honda CL350s for $300.
Oh.
Brought them home and made one fully operational vehicle that served as my primary form of transport for a few years until I moved on to bigger bikes. If $300 bought two bikes in 1986, I refuse to allow that $500 can't get you one motorcycle in 2022. I know.
Yeah.
That math isn't quite right.
Okay, what's his example?
He says, I categorically reject Miss Emma's assertion that the $500 motorcycle is a thing of the past as a load of old bollocks.
Bollocks. Never
Bollocks.
mind the bollocks.
To prove my conviction, I submit the following for your consideration. And this is a 1982 Yamaha XJ6. It's basically like a Virago. And they're asking $500. It says it needs a new carb, but the diaphragms are intact. But if the diaphragms are intact, what this really means is carbs need cleaning and reassembly. So that's an ugly cruiser with a big seat.
Yeah.
And he says, if that doesn't convince you, here's a 1981 Kawasaki CSR, which is like I think it's a 250cc, but it's like the 440. It's an LTD, basically.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
My gut, which is never wrong, tells me this just needs a battery charge or a new battery and carb cleaning at most. Hope you all enjoyed the one show. Peace and love from your fellow wanker, Leo.
Hey, Leo the
Leo.
wanker.
So
All right.
it is possible, if there is going to be a $500
Where's Leo
project
from,
bike. Well, he lived in Santa Cruz at one time.
Well, the big ones, do they have the paperwork?
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
knows?
But it's going to be an 80s or 90s cruiser. That's it.
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That is the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
And that's why I say if you want to do a project bike that you're going to cut up and turn into a bobber cafe something, start with one of these
Yeah.
because you can only make it go up.
Yeah. It's,
You could tie pickles to it and increase the value.
and it looks better.
It looks better. Exactly.
Just remove the seat, you make $700.
Exactly. Bagel, what do you got there?
Yeah. So I have an email from Matt Barlow,
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
and Matt writes, "Hey there, Liza and the Misfit crew.
That's me.
This is Matt in Utah,
We
and
love
this
Utah.
is my latest project.
Okay,
A
Cecil.
2003 Yamaha TT R125 LE. It's a big wheel, electric start, air-cooled 125. My 12-year-old has been riding a Pitster 110 for some time now, and he's outgrowing that bike. So for his birthday, I showed up with this little guy in the truck.
Nice.
I went over a
2003.
litany of work that needs to be done, and his eyes got bigger with excitement as I went on. I scored it from an old friend for $1,400, and it needs fork seals, rear brake pads, rear wheel bearings, rear fender, fresh tires, and a good old carb diddling. It has a top-end rebuild from a local shop and fired up on the first stab.
Great.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to some garage time working on this with the boy and hitting the trails too. Maybe if I have any luck at all, my son will carry on the bike fever, and that will keep him out of trouble in the coming years. Or he'll be hell on wheels. Either way, the misfit bike life goes on and on. Keep up the great work and give it the beans.
Yay.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you, it might keep your son out of trouble, but that bike will certainly get you into some trouble.
Oh, yeah. You love that bike.
I got the same bike, and I tell you, I'm 6'1", 200 plus, and I can rip around the TT track on that thing, and it can take the abuse. Great bike. I mean, I've had it for 7 or 8 years now. Mine's 2003, and it runs great. But both of you will have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. Well, what a great show tonight, and having Gordon on.
Oh my gosh, he's a rock star. What a nice, smart guy. Another person you only barely scratch the surface.
He knows his stuff so much, but again, he loves it. And I was talking about because it's Mother's Day and it's Cool Mom. He didn't mention it, but his dad died when he was only 8 years old. So his mom raised him, and so again. Cool Mom dropped me off at the racetrack.
I know, at Laguna. How cool.
As soon as you finish polishing the silver set.
Yeah. Hey, wait, you almost forgot your 22. You forgot your 22. Go take it and shoot some squirrels.
But what a cool story. And since we live here, we know all the things he had access to that shaped him from a young boy up.
Which is fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, sweeping the floor at a Ferrari shop to volunteering at the Pebble to working his way up.
Yeah.
To being a judge there.
And you can see his bikes in a couple of cars if you go to YouTube. He has the Peterson Museum's virtual tour that they did during COVID, and get a glimpse at the bikes. Pretty neat. Yeah.
And then, John.
Yes.
Do you have an announcement you want to make?
It depends on which one.
About November.
Yeah. So we are beginning the planning stages for. We don't have the right name.
You don't even know this, Jim.
We don't have.
You don't know this.
We'll come up with a fancy name, but basically, we're going to plan a Misfits rally in November.
A little adventure. Is it an adventure rally?
Yeah, it'll be mostly an adventure rally, but I think what I want to try to do is actually have a road track and a dirt track for folks who want to come on road bikes too. But we got to work out the details. So at a minimum, it's going to be an adventure rally for dirt bikes, and I'm looking at places for us to stay. More information is coming. We're looking at the 2nd to 3rd week of November before Thanksgiving, obviously. So we're hoping to get a bunch of you all here, and we're going to have a good time and go ride.
What part of the state?
Actually, let's go ahead and talk about what we're thinking.
Go ahead.
We're thinking of it being held at Hollister Hills.
Oh, interesting.
So camping there.
Yeah.
Taking adventure bikes around the park on the easy trails, and then out of the park. And riding on, around the roads there, over to Tres Pinos, stuff like that.
That's cool.
So what a great route that we can have some actual dirt riding at Hollister Hills.
Right.
And then leaving and going and riding the great roads around there.
Yeah.
And do it like what you're talking about, a 2 or 3 day thing?
2 nights, 3 days.
Yeah, 2 nights, 3 days.
Maybe hook up with one of those old Portuguese ranchers out there and get access to their land.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Run with the pigs.
We're hoping that I'm in conversation right now with Hollister Hills.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully I can get their approval to have us there because they don't do reserve camping there.
So we're talking about trying to get our own section for that. But then how great would it be for people who, John, you've only been to Hollister a few times, right?
Yeah.
If you really don't know where you're going, you can get into trouble on some of the trails on a larger bike. Yeah. A larger bike.
Yeah, just go 3 feet to the left and down the fucking canyon like 80 feet.
Right.
In Poison Oak.
Bagel, I keep dreaming that one day you'll show up with your adventure scooter.
I really want to do that.
That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, believe me, it is. It is rattling around in my mind.
I still remember one of the first rides I went on with you was a vampires rally. I believe it was at night. And we're all ripping through the hills, and there's Bagel just fucking passing people on his scooter. I'm like, what the? You're not supposed to do that. And it's not like he's really leaning in the curves and no, he's just riding upright in his little proper riding position with his scooter skirt on.
Like with those GSA riders, like Gordon, they're just nice and easy, upright, and just hauling ass past everybody.
Hauling ass. So I keep imagining you doing that on a scooter too, on the trails. So that's something we're working on for November. And Jim,
Well, I also got a.
Oh, yeah?
We're also
What,
working on
what?
another one for August this year, up to Mendocino National Forest.
Oh.
So another couple of days up there. So working with Matt Beals and I are putting
nice.
this together from
good.
Breaking Away.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So if you're interested in that too, we'll give you more information as we get closer. I got to go to Pakistan first, but
The ocean side of Mendocino or the hotter side of Mendocino?
the National Forest.
Okay.
Yeah. So
It's beautiful up there.
yeah, it's incredible. So we'll set up a base camp and then go out riding through there.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of opportunities to come ride with the Misfits if you want.
Yeah, we're going to be everywhere. I'm going to be going next month. It's coming up fast to Americade. I'm going to be doing a lot there.
It's
Really
upstate
excited.
New York? Is that where that?
Yeah, Lake George.
Yeah, I've been up there.
I want listeners to come out, wear your shirts again. I loved how many people
Yeah,
wear their
that's cool.
shirts
That's cool.
to the one show. Yeah, I'm going to be. I said, put me to work, and I keep seeing my name come up on the schedule. Like, oh, I guess I'm there too. Oh, I'm doing that too. Okay,
Garbage bags and bathrooms.
That's right.
exactly. Hey, if you're interested in one of the new shirts, and this is a navy blue shirt, not a black shirt, because I used to not do black shirts at all. They do look good, but this is a navy shirt. If you want to check it out, you can go to motorcyclesandmisfits.com and hit on shop. And I have it there, and it's $25. I'll ship it out to you, and I throw in a free sticker too.
A sticker?
I do. I throw in a free sticker. They're rainbowy, you know.
Oh, yes,
I
they
know.
are.
And don't forget to come out to the Quail. This is going to be fun. We're all going to be there. Bagel, wish you could be there.
Well,
You'll.
I'm
what?
on vacation, so
Oh.
Throw on
Maybe I
that
could come
scooter
down.
skirt and come on down.
we'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well, and definitely look for Miss Emma. She's got her thing down, her outfit, that aqua blue cowboy hat. You cannot miss her.
No, it's great to pick her
Yeah.
out, like you said.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Check out YouTube.
Check out our YouTube. Yeah, we've got a great video there. Part 1. We're all waiting for part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And big thanks to our Patreon subscribers.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
awesome. Again, the money that we're going to be giving away, it's coming out straight from the Patreon. We're just turning around and giving it right back out to the motorcycle community. I hope to continue doing this, finding good things that to put the money into. So I really appreciate that. But mostly, thank you to all the listeners for keeping us going.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, when we go to events and people come up and say hi, or I see people wearing shirts, there was some people wearing a shirt, and I just started walking behind them and just kind of jumped into the conversation mid-sentence, and they're, whoa,
I recognize that voice.
and it's like, I love it. There are people, and yeah, I love our people. There you go. So thank you, everyone, for listening. I think we're ready to get out of here. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Thanks. This is Liza.
Stumpy John.
Naked Jim.
Bagel.
And we are out of here.
Cool.
Cool.
Hey there. Hey there.
Dude, you are going to get so dick punched. I can't wait.
Hey there. Welcome to Motorcycles and Misfits. When you least expect it, John. But just remember this moment, because that will be the answer to your question, which is why?